Hey guys, Nick here from 4playernetwork.com. If you're a regular, thanks again for joining us for another week of game discussion. If you're a newbie, thanks for tuning in and we hope you stick around. I just wanted to issue a small disclaimer because this week you will be hearing a fair amount of criticism of a game we all know to be perfect, Bioshock Infinite. If you make it through the show without suffering a fatal heart attack and can stomach the thought, please subscribe to the show on iTunes and make a free account over at 4playernetwork.com to become part of our amazing community. Of course, if you hate us like we obviously hate Bioshock Infinite, we completely understand. Sorry, I really couldn't help myself on that one. Anyways, enjoy the show. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 311.
Hey, that's cool, Nick. Bioshock!
My name is Nick Henderson. Shut your fucking mouth, Brad. My name is Nick Henderson. That was Brad who just rudely interrupted me, who now doesn't want to talk.
I already introduced myself.
Technically you didn't, you just said let's talk about Bioshock.
Yeah.
Well, if you say so, Nolan.
Hey
No,
guys, it's Nolan. Also, it's April 2nd, 2013.
Ooh.
it is the day after April Fool's Day. This is not a joke. Chris
Hey, how's it going?
Crispy is joining
What's
us
going
as well.
on, guys?
So, for those watching at home at 4pp.tv, you may notice that our room setup is quite a bit different this week, so consider this...
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. It's a trial version. We're testing a lot of stuff out, so bear with us.
Audio might be slightly different as well.
Audio might be slightly different for a
Yeah.
couple of weeks. We're still working out the kinks and trying to figure out the best solution for the audio. So any feedback you have as far as audio quality or suggestions you may have for us, please leave them in the comments on the site at 4playernetwork.com when the show goes up. We'd really appreciate it.
I'm Whoopi Goldberg.
What?
I don't even know what that means.
What does that
Well,
mean?
then I'm Barbara Wolf. No, you're Barbara Wolf.
Well, since we record...
Oh, wow.
Since
We're
we
talking about the view. Shit.
Since we record live over at 4pp.tv, I'm looking at chat right now. He's
Yes.
watching us live, and Superseller said the View 4pp edition, which actually means 4pn edition, but oh man, Bioshock.
Is that where we're going to start? You don't want to
Yes.
say Bioshock for the end, so that's kind of like...
I think we should say Bioshock so we don't spend too much time on it. We can get the other games out of the way real
No,
quick.
we don't spend much time on the other things.
Okay.
Bioshock's the big conversation of the week. I
No,
think.
but I'm saying if we're going to do this 45 minutes, we do the other things, and then we talk about Bioshock.
Boy,
For the rest
I think
of
So-
we could have figured this out before we started recording.
Who's playing Luigi's Mansion?
I'm playing Luigi's Mansion.
That
Is
guy.
anybody else playing?
I bought it today.
So
We haven't played it.
He'll play it by the end of the
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was.
I have to start over Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
'Cause
I
I got-
let too many people die.
No, I got like 6 hours into the game before I realized that I was literally on the mode in which it's permadeath for your characters.
Why would you do that?
I specifically remember selecting the mode where permadeath is not an option, and then all of a sudden, fucking what's her Lisa, whatever her name,
Lisa.
dies, and I was like two missions later, I was like, oh, I need my healer. Where the fuck is she? Where is she?
Is it one
Where
of
is
those
she?
things
You let
where...
Lissa die?
I've never played the game.
I'm just freaking out about the mics, okay? I didn't mean to be looking at you.
It's fine. So, no, is it one of those things? I hate games or any sort of selection screen where you can't tell what's selected, like where the colors change to the point where if something isn't selected, it kind of looks like it is. You know what I'm saying?
I would
Yeah.
like to point out, I'm a little surprised that he can't figure out what game mode it's on because it's actually.
Oh my god, we are
Pretty
not
simple.
talking about
But yeah,
Fire
we're not
Emblem.
talking about Fire
Luigi's
Emblem. Anyway,
Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion.
It was an accident, asshole.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
Don't touch my knee.
An accident asshole.
That's creepy.
Accidental asshole.
This new setup allows him to touch my knee really
You
easily.
could have touched it easily before.
It
would've
would
been-
have been like under the table. No one would have
Well,
seen.
that would have been
Even
more
creepier.
appropriate. Oh,
It was
that too.
Sorry, continue. Luigi's
Anyway.
Mansion 2 Dark
Right.
Moon.
So I was out of town all last week. All I had access to was my 3DS, so I spent the time playing Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which is incredible. I love this game.
Now, did you play the first Luigi's Mansion?
I did. It's been, I mean...
Didn't you like it when you played it?
I like the first one, yeah. I never finished the original Luigi's Mansion. And I can't even remember most of it because, like, again,
I've never
that must
played
have
that
been, like...
game came out in, what, 2004?
That must have been, like...
No, it was a GameCube launch title, so...
Oh, so then 2000.
I didn't play.
Two?
I didn't play in the launch window. It might have been like
2000.
2003 or 4 when I played it. But even so, that's almost 10 years ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh.
This game is really, really good. What's particularly nice about it, what they've changed from the original Luigi's Mansion, is now you're not like in the same house the whole time. There's 6 different mansions that you go through. Each one.
Wait, so is
has-
this like Luigi Ghost Hunter?
Yeah, dude, it really is. It's like Luigi Ghostbusters, basically. You know, he's got the poltergust pack and everything, which going between the flashlight and the vacuum acts as like a proton beam and the
Do you lay down
Ghost
traps?
trap?
Do you
No.
like take them back to headquarters and install the ghost?
no,
inside
but
the
you do
receptacle?
at the end of
In
every
the
mission.
containment unit.
Yeah, at the end of every mission, you do pump the ghost into
Nice.
a containment vault.
I hope they keep it charged and they never
Yeah.
unplug it.
And then you
Such
make
a
a
good
joke
shooter.
about it raining cats and dogs, and yes,
living together.
Ghostbusters.
No, dogs and cats living together.
Exactly.
Mass hysteria.
A Twinkie the size of a school bus.
It's a big Twinkie.
I just feel like I had to mention that because anytime anyone ever says anything about Ghostbusters, someone has to talk about the cats and the dogs.
Do they?
Or the Twinkie.
Yes.
Usually it's the Twinkie. I
What's the
think.
problem with that?
Just
What's the problem with that, Brad?
predictable.
That's a big Twinkie.
It's a big Twinkie.
Anyway,
Tell him about the Twinkie.
yeah, I mean,
So you're enjoying it so far then?
I think it's really good. The game is charming as fuck. Like,
Is there any kind of multiplayer or
there is actually. I haven't had a chance to
local
play it yet.
DS?
It's
Yeah, but-
online or local co-op.
Yeah, it's an online and local like co-op. Apparently, it's supposed to be pretty good. Really, like most Mario multiplayer games nowadays, it's really like chaotic.
I have it now, so maybe
So
you
we
and I
should-
could
Dude,
ghost bust together.
Hold on, I have a question. Is it not the same as it used to be with the original DS games? The one person, like sometimes some modes you don't have to have the game. I forget what they call
you mean
that.
single card
It's
play?
like download and play.
Yeah, like Mario
like
Kart had that.
Mario
Some
Kart.
some
Mario
games have that.
Party had
I
it.
don't know if Luigi's Mansion's one of them.
Okay.
It might be. It's a first party Nintendo game.
So is it
Maybe.
similar to the Luigi's Mansion mini game that we played on the what was that? Nintendo
Um,
Land?
It's no,
Well,
not really.
do you think the multiplayer?
The only
might
thing, no, the multiplayer is pretty much exactly like the main game, except there's 4 Luigis running
be?
around.
Because I think
trying to
that
track
that
ghosts.
would be perfect.
That would be really cool.
Because
I
especially
really
because you're
enjoy
looking
that.
at different screens.
Yeah, because you had in the Nintendo Land version, you had a bunch of like Luigis walking around the mansion trying to find one ghost character that was played by one of the players.
Mhm.
That centered all around though catching the ghost in your flashlight.
Correct.
Which is really only half of like the ghost catching mechanics in Luigi's Mansion, because you have to use the strobe to like
So there's
flash
2
them.
mechanics then?
well,
But 2 really good
yeah.
mechanics.
Well, I mean, since neither of them really work without the other,
Okay.
yeah, it's
But-
kind of 2 sides of the same coin. You have to like flash them with the flashlight to stun them,
Mm-hmm.
and once they're stunned, then you can start, trying to capture them with the poltergust.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all have like a little health meter or like numbers above their head, and you have to keep.
Are there damage numbers?
They are, yes,
Nice.
but it counts down, so you have
That's
to.
fine.
Once it gets down to 0, then he like sucks them up into the vacuum. And then as that's counting down, there's also a little meter that builds. For weaker ghosts, it has one little tier to it.
Mhm.
Once it fills up, you have the option of hitting A, and it sends like a little like a burst
Pulse
or
symbols,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, that if you do that when you catch the ghost, it'll drop some gold or like some coins you can pick up. Some of the stronger ghosts have 2 levels of that, and if you charge it all the way and do that, then they drop gold bars, which are obviously worth one.
And what's
If you
the
do
point
it
of
the
gold?
regular, I'm sorry,
What's the point of the gold?
the
I heard he's
gold.
rich in this game. Like he's
Yeah, the gold
money
you
coming out of
use-
his ears.
As you collect them, it gives you upgrades for your equipment. So it upgrades your strobe, it upgrades your poltergust, and also he has a another light
Flashlight?
called a dark light device.
No.
The dark light device is used to reveal
Semen.
illusions.
Semen.
Yes, semen. Ghost semen all over the place.
It's
it
plasma.
glows
It's
fluorescent
ectoplasm.
blue. Yes.
It's just ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm. Oh, ghost came through here. So like there can be like doors to rooms or like chests that are being hidden by illusions. You
Okay.
use that to reveal
Discover
them.
those. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So whenever like if you turn it on and there's an illusion in the room, you'll start seeing these bubbles float around,
Mhm.
and then you can use that to track it back to the illusion, reveal whatever's being hidden, and then it'll shoot out these like ghost orb things, and you have to suck all of them up to reveal whatever it is hidden.
Okay, so here's my question.
Okay.
So it is a it's a Mario Universe game. It's
Yes.
Luigi. I'm assuming there's plenty of charming cameos from the Mario Universe.
You know what? So far, I'm not okay. I'm just under like
10 minutes.
halfway. Yeah, I'm 10 minutes into the game. I've caught one ghost.
And I love this game.
No, I'm just under like halfway through it right now. It is actually surprisingly like pretty fleshed out, like long game. There's a lot to do with it.
A lot of puzzles.
A lot of puzzles. Yeah, a lot of actually, I've gotten stuck a couple times.
I remember
already.
playing this demo at E3 that first year when they announced the 3DS.
I remember that, yeah.
And I got stuck on a puzzle in the demo.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just as stupid as there's like a key above you and you forget that you can look up and see things up there. So sometimes it can be a little.
I'm gonna go and file that in the back of my brain.
A lot of
Look
times
up.
when you get stuck, it's it's not that what you have to do is hard. It's just you're having you're just having a lapse in thought, like you're having a brain fart, and not thinking through all of your different options. What was your other question?
Oh, I was just asking about cameos from Mario.
Oh yeah,
gonna
no.
ask
The only other
War.
thing from the regular Mario universe that I've encountered so far is booze.
Booze.
Each mission that you
booze.
do,
Yeah.
boobs.
I was thinking
booze.
hard liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, booze.
Luigi drinks booze.
But the white ghost from all the Mario games.
Luigi's
where,
an alcoholic in this game.
Yeah, he is. Where you couldn't kill them before, and they were the ones where if you were looking at them, they were just they would float there
They
with
would
their
go
eyes
clear,
closed.
like translucent.
Yeah, and then when you turned away, they would start moving towards you.
Yeah.
Each mission has one of those hidden
Mm-hmm.
in the level somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hidden by an illusion, like I was talking about. So you have to use that dark light
yeah.
to find them. Once you find them, then you fight them for a little while, and then you capture them. If you capture every boo in each mission of that mansion, it unlocks a new stage that you can go do.
Like a special stage.
Yeah, I have yet to unlock one because I found 4 of 6 or some in the first mansion. Sometimes they're hidden very well. It's kind of tricky. I've been going through for a while trying to figure it out and just kind of pounding my head against the wall. Or I'm just dumb. I don't know. Maybe everyone else is having a really easy time with it,
slight
and I'm probably just stupid. But yeah, so far everything about this game, Luigi himself, the way he acts in the game is incredible. Whenever you've cleared out a room and there's no other there's no danger or anything left in there, if you stay in for a while, he'll actually start humming along with the theme music that's going on. Yeah, so a lot of that stuff you can still.
I hear it's a charming ringtone.
Oh yes, so Professor
Professor,
Egad, the guy who's leading you through all this, he gives you a DS, a Nintendo DS,
Of course.
That was
which,
the original,
which
game.
they call a dual screen. Yes, yeah, you're right. It was
Dual
yeah.
scream.
Dual screen. Yes. And that's how he communicates with you. It also has your map and everything like that. And every time he calls you, it has this little ringtone that's like this. It's really, you can look it up. People have been making MP3s and putting it on YouTube all over the place. It's just this catchy little ringtone that just kind of adds to the whole charm of it. Every time he calls, you just sit there and listen to it for a little while, and then you accept
Nice.
I wasn't answering the call because I was just listening. To
Yeah.
the ringtone.
Well,
Exactly.
Nick, were you answering the call of Juarez?
Oh, that was good. Yes, I was. Yes, I played a little bit of Call of Juarez on Friday. Call of Juarez Bound in Blood, which I broadcasted primarily because I played Call of Juarez Gunslinger at PAX, and I wanted to kind of get a feel for the series before I jumped into that one.
So
Brad's looking at me funny.
I fought so hard to get Nick to play something else.
I know, but I had a reasoning for playing. I had more reason to play this now than Metroid.
Well, so
There's
Nick, I was there. I was there when you were playing. Let's keep this going. I was there when you were playing, and it seemed like you had some mixed emotions about the game.
I do, and I'm actually writing something up about it right now. So I don't want to spend too much time on it because we do have a lot to talk about. But going into Call of Juarez, I feel like I'm realizing more and more that I'll never quite have the same feeling about another Western game as I did about Red Dead.
Yeah.
Predominantly because this is a shooter before it's a Western, I think, and Red Dead
Yeah,
was a
it is,
Western before it was a shooter. If that makes any sense.
No, yeah. Red Dead had the story, the elements, the environment. All of that was very much.
It wasn't about
incorporated in-
shooting at its core. It was about
No, exactly. The shooting was there, but it was very easy. It was very easy to lock onto people. The battles, the fights in that game weren't hard.
Mhm.
This game, yes,
and they weren't coming out the ass. Like, there's like,
well, for one thing, that was a third-person game, and this is
Yeah.
a first-person game, and so yes, it's more centered on
and this
shooting
is a
people.
tech
Wait, the new ones? Oh, okay.
Wait, what? And here's the thing: I played the new one.
Which one are we talking about?
We're talking about Bound in Blood. I played Bound in Blood. That's the one you've played, right?
Yes.
So not the Cartel, not the crappy one. I mean, the game is good. I mean, it's a first-person shooter at its core, though, which is not necessarily what I was looking for in a Western experience. But I mean, it gets all those notes pretty well. It's frustrating at times. It has some issues with controls every now and then, and things getting locked locked in place when they shouldn't be. And I don't know. It has that syndrome of like Uncharted, where there's like dudes just coming out of every orifice, and it's like what.
So you play as two different characters?
Yeah, it's two
do
brothers.
they control differently?
No, they don't control differently, but they have different. Like one has like a lasso that he can use to like latch onto things and climb up, which you don't use very often. And the other guy, what did the other guy do? I mean, the other one,
he can fucking cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
oh, he had like a knife.
You
or
can cha-cha?
something. Yeah, he had throwing knives. One guy has throwing knives, one guy has a lasso, and that's like pretty much the only like.
You can't use the lasso on people?
No,
That
no.
sounds silly.
No,
Is it-
the throwing knives and the lasso, that's the same dude.
Is it?
They
Dude, I don't
have
even-
a dude who can...
that's- you know that you might have just pinpointed the biggest problem I had with this game is the characters are completely unlikable and almost indistinguishable. From
They are unlikable characters. You need to get through the story. Like, I like that the story is about, like, these unlikable characters.
That's what I'm not liking about it.
I have a question for our
This is
community.
not a great game, which is why I was begging you to play.
No, but I understand. Trust me, I am not blind to the
It's
fact
an underrated game. It's a game that not a lot of
I had a
people play.
quick question for our community since we are recording this live. Did anybody clip out any of the... There were some weird things going on when Nick was playing Call of Juarez. Did anybody clip any of that out? Just out of curiosity.
What kind of weird stuff? I can't remember.
A goat climbed a ladder. Thief 2 was cool.
Hey,
Bioshock.
calm down. I mean, I figured you want to talk about Call of Juarez. You were the one a long time ago trying to get me to play.
Oh
this
my
game.
god, the thing is I was never pushing it on you that hard. That's why
And I know you're disappointed because I didn't play Metroid Prime, but trust me, I will get to play Metroid
No.
Prime.
Clive Barker's Undying.
there is
That's
a
a game that could become one of your favorite games.
There is
ever.
a sequel to this game coming out next month, which is why I chose to play it now.
Okay, that's fair.
And you know,
Next month?
maybe June, whatever, soon, very soon. And I played it at PAX. I had some actually pretty positive things to say about it,
Mhm.
and I think Joseph had probably the best explanation for why I like this game at PAX so much. Is that Techland has a terrible habit of developing games that are so far outside of their scope that they try
They can't
and
meet the expectations that they set for
can't.
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And Gunslinger, which is this new game coming out next month, is smaller in scope. It's more focused. The levels are more polished. It doesn't try to do anything super ambitious, but because of that, it's a tighter, more fun experience. Like I had a blast.
How
playing
many
that
shootouts did you do? Showdowns?
in Gunslinger?
No, in the new one.
In the new one?
I mean, in Bound in Blood. In Bound in Blood.
3 or 4, I think.
Okay, so you have a pretty good taste. I think maybe it'd be better to maybe talk about it a little more once you finish it because
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna.
I think one of the reasons I liked it is because the story was kind of different and somewhat restrained.
And I would be enjoying the story more, but I can't even tell the characters apart, and they're not.
What do you? One's like an old dude.
No, they're brothers, and they're completely unlikable, and they're complete assholes.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I
they're
don't
assholes.
find anything.
There's a
appealing.
Native American in the game.
But I'm
his voice is
saying what
not
I kind of
fitting
like
well.
about it
And
is,
one guy
is the
is-
story. That's why I think this will be a conversation worth returning to once you actually complete.
Well,
that
are they
story.
going? Are they moving in that direction toward? Because there's that girl they introduced, and they're always fighting over the girl.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know what's funny? I just realized is there's an Indian in the not correct political sense.
And
not
just
PC.
like we stole land from the Indians.
Well, hold on, calm down,
Okay.
killer. I'm saying there's an Indian in the game, you know, Native American,
Yes.
but he's played by an Indian, like a guy from India. Like the Native American, the Indian is voiced by an Indian, but it's the wrong Indian.
By the way, someone in chat, Soul Glove says Red Dead had unlikable characters as well, and I would
Unlikable?
agree. He said unlikable, but I think this when I'm talking about
Who?
Soul Glove says unlikable. I completely disagree with you on the fact that they're all unlikable.
Well, you could
in
say
Red Dead.
like
Now we're talking
like
about Red
Seth
Dead.
or
Well, this is
I
an
like
important
Seth.
point.
He was crazy.
they're terrible people, but they have enough personality and
Like,
enough quirk
yes,
to them that you can like
Dickens.
them.
Well,
There's a
Nigel
difference.
Dickens. He was
There is
crazy.
Nigel West Dickens.
There is a big difference between unlikable characters in that they're boring, indistinguishable, and poorly developed characters, and unlikable characters in which they are just sad, excuses for human beings and
I
unlikable.
agree.
Because there are plenty of those in Red Dead Redemption, but they're so well developed.
Well, yeah, but that's exactly what he was saying. Like he mentioned, what was the grave robber guy?
Seth.
Like Seth, he was a crazy ass person who would dig up people's graves and do all this horrible shit. But even though he was a horrible person, he was still, I don't want to say likable, but he was an interesting
intriguing,
character. Yes,
yeah.
you wanted to know more about him. You
and
actually,
as a Western, like almost all, even looking at film, like Western films, like they're filled with these kind of characters.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
those are fitting. Like the characters shouldn't be super likable, but they should be developed and well presented.
Yeah.
We can
Finish the
move
story.
on. We can move on.
You're gonna finish this.
I'm gonna finish it probably this week. 'Cause so I can move on to Metroid Prime, and maybe Clive Barker's The Undying Bread. That'll make. Do you want to tell me why you think that has the potential to be my favorite game of all
Because
time?
it's a really I didn't mean that, but I think you'd really like it because it's Clive Barker and because it's actually a good Clive Barker game,
Okay, well, I don't
and it's not too old.
believe it or not. I don't have much history at all with Clive Barker. I didn't watch Hellraiser. I've never seen a Hellraiser movie.
Okay.
In fact, the only
It's got fucked up shit in it, and you like fucked up shit.
yeah, but the only Clive Barker thing that I really experienced was Jericho. So.
It's a well-made shooter with horror
I
elements.
still need to play that.
All right, well, I will
Speaking
try.
of games that you should maybe go back and play, I would recommend going back to play a Thief game, maybe
Mm-hmm.
specifically Thief 2.
So would you recommend Thief
before-
2 over Thief 3?
Yeah, Thief 3 is not...
Because that's
like,
the only Thief I have.
Deadly
is the third-
Shadow?
Yeah, Deadly Shadow.
Yeah.
Is the one I have.
That is definitely not the... Well, that's sort of the...
It's not representative of the Thief experience.
The thing is, the reason I want to play Thief
No, I
3,
mean-
the reason I want to play Thief 3 specifically is because
that
of
horror
that
level.
level.
Okay, but Thief is often considered in the same like conversation when people are talking about, I don't know, maybe like the top 10 games of all time, or I mean, it's a looking glass game. I mean, a lot of these games that we're playing now, when we play stuff like Dishonored and
Don't worry.
when we play games like Dishonored and like Deus Ex Human Revolution, you're like, oh wow, these games are cool. Or like Bioshock, these games are cool. They remind me kind of like they have elements of like old, PC games that were like deeper and cooler, and you can sort of
Mhm.
do what approach situation how you wanted. Like you like Dishonored, right?
I love Dishonored.
Well, so a lot of that game has its roots in like these older Thief games, and it's these older Thief games, specifically Thief 2, that I think are often considered to be one of the finest games ever made. And the original Thief came out around the same time as Metal Gear Solid, and are often considered like both of those games are sort of considered like the birth of like the modern stealth game.
Yeah.
And so not only is it influential, but it's also really cool. I played a few missions in Thief, and they're very open ended, like I guess like a Dishonored level.
Yeah.
But in Thief, you're stealing shit. But I think what's cool about Thief 2 is you're kind of you're finding the shit to steal. It's just not all over the place, and you stumble across like notes or whatever, right? And it's not the kind of note that you stumble into like Dishonored or Bioshock, where it's just sort of exposition about the world.
Right.
It's literally just like a little manifest or like a letter from one person to another, and you sort of pull information from that stuff. Like when I was playing a level, I found a note that some sort of like landlord or official had or whatever, that had like a list of all the names of the people in that area, and like who when are they up to date on rent, like, oh, this person hasn't paid it in 3 months, and this person paid rent for the next 6 months, and you're taking this information and processing, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why didn't that guy pay rent for 3 weeks? Okay, let's find out where that guy lives and sort of go there and see if that's like that will lead me down my next path to like completing this objective or finding this other really valuable thing.
As a thief, I would think that someone who hadn't paid rent wouldn't make a very good target.
Well, I'm just giving an example. Like you
dead, and you can just ransack it.
You sort of process that information, and you look for you're literally looking for clues, like in these notes and kind of stuff. I guess
you have to synthesize this information yourself a little bit.
It kind of reminds me of like you played Human Revolution, right?
Yeah,
kind of like pulling information from emails and stuff, like clues and stuff.
Oh yeah, that shit was really cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just very it's really
So
it's
I've
good.
never-
I mean the AI is a little rough as an early stealth game would be, but the areas just feel so big and open, and you know, like even more so than like in something like Dishonored, you feel like you have access to so much of it, but you know you don't have to explore every little inch. But you're stealing you're stealing shit, so you might want to. And the harder difficulties are literally like, you know, steal more shit usually, and like don't kill anyone.
So I've never played the second thief. I've only played the third one, but it sounds similar in the sense that
Yeah.
I mean, in the third one there were very open environments. There wasn't just
Yeah.
one set path to get to your destination,
Absolutely.
and also on the way there were several other things you could do on the sides and people you could interact with that you never had to. And there, I don't know to what extent it was, but you could find notes. That would tell you about other people that you could interact with and stuff like that. So, I mean, can you at least for me, maybe someone else might benefit from this, and kind of describe the differences in between the two games, or is it?
Well, so okay, when I say that don't play Thief 3 over the other ones, it's literally because it's almost unanimous that is the weak link in the series up to this point. You know, it's like the fucking Devil May Cry 2, but maybe not to that degree. You know what I mean?
Thief 3?
Yeah.
That's what they say, and that's what.
Well, not to that degree. Now, I have played, you know, a couple of missions, maybe like a few missions in Thief 3, and, you know, I haven't played that much Thief 2, and I dabble around Thief 1. I've not finished any of these games.
Yeah.
But,
Someone in chat,
but Thief 2 seems a little bit bigger, a little more open in scope.
I just what Koshiro in chat said that as far as talking about like the vibe of like a Thief game, so Thief games are kind of are inverted film noir detective stories. So there's like that detective element to it, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, you're presented with this environment that's filled with, you know, locked doors or, you know, fucking shit, that obstacles in your way, and you're literally looking for clues to, you know, find out how to get around, maybe get through like certain barriers, obstacles, and, you know, find what you're looking for.
That sounds cool. I do want to.
You know, like in this one mission, I had to break into this vault and steal something from this vault and replace it, like literally,
Indiana Jones style.
Well, no. I had to first
Get a replica of it.
like I was framing somebody, so I had to steal something from their apartment or whatnot, which I had to find out where that is and how to get in there, and I had to like sneak into this vault, which was very difficult, and I had to like steal something from that vault and place that other thing in there, and that was sort of my mission, you know what I mean? And that's pretty good. It's cool.
Yeah.
I'll play more of it for sure.
Cool.
I mean, like I said, I've only played 3, and I think it's because it was gifted to me. That's the only reason I played it. But no, yeah, Thief 2 definitely sounds like it would be a good place to go. I mean, I enjoyed what little I did play of Thief 3. I mean,
How old is Thief 2?
I mean, it's old.
Yeah,
99, 2000?
Yeah, like 2000, I think.
2000, maybe?
I think Thief 3 is from 2002.
2002,
I think
2000.
so.
Wasn't Thief 3 was on the original Xbox?
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that was a port on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. We'll revisit Thief. I know we'll talk a little bit more about Thief in general in the second segment when we talk about the news, because there was a new Thief trailer that just came out, and it's tied to some Square Enix stuff. But now, I guess we can move on to talking about Bioshock Infinite. Before we talk too much about Bioshock Infinite, let me say two things. One of which, this conversation will be spoiler-free. Most of us here actually haven't finished the game.
No, none of us have.
Actually, none of us have. We will be recording, or Jeff and a few other people on the site will be recording a spoiler cast over the weekend and getting that up on Audible Impressions. So keep your eye on the site for that. Also, if you are a fan of Bioshock and if you don't have the game yet, we are running a contest right now to possibly win a copy of Bioshock Infinite. So visit the site at 4.
What do you have to do to win that contest?
Details are in the post. You basically just have to. You can enter your name in the. I forgot how.
It's more than just your name.
Are we eligible?
No, we are not eligible. But feel free to check that out. You can find a post on the site at 4playernetwork.com. So if you don't have the game yet, feel free to drop your name in there, and we'll be announcing the results of that in the coming weeks. And now I guess we can dive into the game. We've all been playing quite a bit of it.
So I'd like to say, first of all, we were all excited to some extent about the game.
Even before that,
I'd say
I jumped into the current generation on the day Bioshock 1 came out. That's when I bought my 360 before
I remember that.
anything else.
I remember that because then your first Xbox Red Ring, and you got
Yeah,
Bioshock. I was sitting there before I'd ever met you, and I was sitting there next to David, and he was talking to you on the phone. He was like, "Brad just got an Xbox and Bioshock, and it Red Ringed."
Oh my god! Red Ring the day you bought it?
Yeah, I did took it back to friends, and I played it. And yeah, when Bioshock Infinite, after we saw that first like gameplay footage of the game. I've been on media blackout.
So Brad
since.
and I were on media blackout.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first trailer and the first gameplay, and I
went-
hadn't seen anything since.
I went on
Y'all two had seen some, but not everything.
for the most part, except for that one trailer that slipped by when we were over watching The Walking Dead that one night. The CG trailer.
Oh yeah.
I kind of went on media blackout after we saw it at E3.
And so, even Chris Davis, even more than any of us, he bought 3 different versions of the game. You know,
Well,
a lot
that's
of money.
just that's
Well,
just
no, it's because he was excited.
disposable income. That's silly.
Yeah. But anyway, so we were all excited about it, and then reviews started coming out. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10,
And
hundreds.
we'll address how we feel about the reviews.
But I haven't read any of them, though, because I was on Media Blackout, and I would like to go back and read some now that I've played halfway through the game about. I think I was talking to some chat, and I think I'm actually around 70%. I'm almost done with the game.
Okay,
What?
yeah.
But I would like to say,
That means I have to be like.
in my
90.
opinion, this game is not 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I know I'm actually farther than you.
Here's the thing: a lot of places aren't giving it a 10 out of 10.
Well, I realize that, but on average, it's getting a pretty high.
Yeah.
No,
Eights-
most
eights-
places are fucking giving.
No,
it
it's getting
10
lots
out
of 8s, lots of 9s. I mean,
This is sitting at like a 96%
IGN
on game ranking.
IGN gave it a 10.
This is as well reviewed, if not more well reviewed, than the first Bioshock.
Probably so. And here's the thing: I think a lot of this reaction. I know Nolan's reaction to it has been this was not a 10 out of 10. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that this is in fact a sequel to Bioshock. If this had been the first Bioshock out there, I think we wouldn't have any. We wouldn't hesitate at all to say this game is damn near perfect. It's a 10 out of 10, or as close
But I
to a
also
10
don't
as-
think it's as good as Bioshock 1.
Yeah, I think a lot of that might be.
But I think it's a very different game.
It's a very different game. I think a lot of that is just going to be because it might even become into personal preference whether you prefer the sky
Well,
setting
I mean,
or the underwater setting.
It's Bioshock Infinite on game rankings,
Mhm.
95.4.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's deserving of a 90. I mean,
Why are we talking about numbers? Let's
I don't
talk
know.
about
Well, we
what
started
we
with-
like and what we don't
Well,
like.
hold on. The reason I brought that up was because all of us were super excited about the game. It started getting amazing scores, which got me more excited.
See, I'm thinking that with at least maybe with the case of you and me is that our expectations were through the roof, and it's not because we were on this blackout. Some people, some person suggested to me that maybe if I had seen like the rollout, the content rollout over the year, I would have
Right.
sort of been maybe expecting something a little different than what we got.
Okay.
Because all I saw was literally that bridge scene with Elizabeth, and that's one thing about this game that's not like it was when they first showed it off, and
No,
that's
it's
that
not.
that they showed Elizabeth was going to be this character that can like do these things in battle, and you have this choice of whether you sort of let her do that, because what they suggested was that it could be something really bad for her if she keeps opening these rifts, or even that was even before there was rifts, like doing these things with her powers.
Yeah.
Like and they made it sound like your decision was going to be like, well, you might need to get to this really tough scenario. Are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of fucking Elizabeth's fucking life or energy or whatever the fuck?
There's more of
to-
like a moral imperative.
Yeah,
to
like
it.
this was going to be the little sister's decision. That's what almost they suggested, and it's not like that at all.
That's
She's,
what- that's what
she's
I
just
thought it
a
was.
she's
I
just a button.
completely forgot about that. So I was playing this game completely.
But that's the last thing I
If
saw.
you remember that last trailer, yeah, she opened the rift and she was all tired and she was trying to bring back that horse. It almost seemed like she was using her own.
See,
like,
I didn't
energy.
even see that.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, I think
that was the
plays-
only one I saw.
I think if that stuff exists at this point now, it's predominantly portrayed in like the story sequences.
The first time she opens a rift, apparently, like in the footage that they showed early on, I didn't watch that, but I heard it described on a podcast, and I shut it off. But they described like the opening of a rift, and all of a sudden it's the 80s.
No, that's what
No,
happened.
that's
But but in my mind, because I never saw this, I was like, they go in the rift and they're standing in like fucking downtown, and Flock of Seagulls is playing, or whoever. the
You
fuck
know
it was.
that could happen. We haven't finished the game.
Okay, no, you're
I don't-
right.
I don't-
In fact,
I
I
don't
haven't
think
gotten to that point. I actually haven't gotten to that point, so I don't know. But I had these like this rift thing that I heard about was like going to be this crazy thing, and from what I understand, it's just like this little gameplay thing you do in battle.
Yeah.
There is, yeah, exactly, and there actually is a little bit of a disparity, like you're talking about in some of the old stuff. I remember specifically while I was playing the game, seeing that one rift that they had mentioned before that takes place in the 80s with the movie theater.
And
So-
Flock of Seagulls was playing.
Yeah,
that.
so in the game, when you see that, you're looking in. She's in a different room, and you're just looking in, and you see her do that on her own. She just opens this little rift. It's in Paris, like in front of a movie theater,
And you
and
hear a
the
song playing.
right, and the marquee in French says "Revenge of the Jedi."
Yeah.
there was a trailer that they put out like
That
a
was at the
year
very
ago.
beginning of the game.
Yeah, when they were first talking about these tears that shows that rift. But in the trailer, you're standing next to her when she does it, and you actually do get sucked into it. And for a minute, you're in 1980s
See,
in
that's
front
what
of a
I
movie
thought.
theater. Yeah, you are actually in it for a little
maybe
while,
that's still gonna
and then
happen.
you get sucked back
So,
out.
so let's
Hold on,
I
hold
want to back away from some of the story stuff.
I just want to say, so far, that hasn't happened to me.
No,
And I think
but-
I'm the furthest in the game.
Yeah, but you still have a good 30% left. Possibly, you said.
Yeah, that's
So,
not.
I mean,
This is
so
a very long game.
And you know, a lot of the payoff in a Bioshock game in general comes with the ending, like the way they
Yeah.
present the story. And,
Oh,
and
well.
a lot of
The
people,
ending of Bioshock 1 was kind of lame.
no, you're thinking of the boss fight was lame, but the ending itself, like
The
twist-
Andrew
Like the
Ryan
last-
thing happened like 60% of the way through the game.
no,
Yeah.
it didn't.
Yes, it did. It
Or,
wasn't
or like 70. It
wasn't-
definitely wasn't,
It wasn't
the end.
very end, but it was like the last like 2 hours of the game where they're really wrapping up all the story and like they're giving context to all this information you've been given. Because like when I was playing the original game, a lot of that stuff I was like picking up all the recorders and like reading this stuff. I really didn't understand what was going on until that last like.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so back to Infinite.
Yeah.
I will say that the world definitely looks cool. Like before we move off the story, I feel like the first hour of this game is incredible.
Oh god, the game,
Like,
the game
absolutely.
looks amazing. It plays, it feels amazing. I mean,
But-
it's definitely visually appealing.
Just the introduction to that world, like everything leading up to
I
when you first start fighting was just incredible.
I love that they opened this game with kind of a throwback to the original Bioshock.
Yeah.
With the lighthouse and all that. Like that was.
there's a lot of
That was
throwbacks
cool.
to the original Bioshock.
And
games.
the thing is, like a Bioshock game should be, like Irrational is really good at. They nail the fucking sound design and the things that just kind of go on and happen in the world, the things that you can catch, which I have a story about here in a second. But someone had mentioned before about the guitar. I found the guitar.
Mhm,
Did you find the
I did.
guitar?
I played it.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's
like
a
that
scene where
moment
you,
might
so
go
you got
down as one of like my favorite moments in gaming of the year.
See, that's cool. Like the
Well,
thing
let's
is,
not talk about that.
I don't know about
that was a good
specifics,
moment,
but like
yeah.
I could have completely missed it.
Yeah.
Because that was literally at a fork in the road, and I was like, "Do I go this way or this way?" And I literally went back and forth like
Well,
four
so-
times. I was like, "Which way?" I'm afraid if I go this far, I'm gonna suddenly go too far in the story and then not be able to come back, and then I'll forget about going back, and then I'll.
So
miss
that's why I
something.
like the little hint where it tells you which direction to go. So if I'm ever at a fork, I ask, which direction am I supposed
the
to go,
opposite.
and then
There's
just
a
go the
hint?
opposite
There's a
way.
hint?
Yeah, you hit up on the D-pad and it
It
points
sends
an
an
arrow
arrow.
to where you should
Oh,
go.
well, I haven't been doing that. So
Oh.
I was like, and I couldn't decide which direction to go. And
I
finally-
found myself with this story. I like Elizabeth as a character, and that interaction between Booker and Elizabeth is sort of what I'm latching onto. And that moment you described was a really great moment, but I find myself not caring about sort of the world around me. I don't care about the Vox Populi and all the shit that's going on in the world. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way that it's presented. Maybe it's not presented in the same way as the simple relationship that that's very like you're very much a part of.
The thing is, the character himself, Booker, as a character,
Maybe
they're
shoving
trying to just like like his only care in that game is getting Elizabeth and getting her out of there.
And that's fine.
He doesn't
No,
give a
that's not-
He doesn't give
well,
a
Not
shit
getting her
about-
out of there.
Well, how
He
far
has
are
an
you?
objective, but
I'm
Okay.
just past the shanty town.
I'm just saying, like that stuff. Just the whole like they chase. There's this relationship. That's what I'm latching onto.
Yeah,
but
that's what you should be latching.
the
on.
rest of the world stuff, which they shove down your fucking throat, I'm not grabbing onto.
I think-
I go up to those little video things and I watch them, but I don't really care. I feel like I'm watching them just because I don't want to say that I didn't watch them. But like I don't care as much about the world as something like Bioshock, which was like this really creepy horror. Is this utopia gone horribly wrong? I feel like
The
in
thing is,
Infinite
this
they're
is-
just
I
throwing a
think
lot at
that's-
you, and it's somewhat heavy-handed. It's I see where they're going. Like, oh, these guys are the bad guys. They're racist, but guess what? These other guys aren't so great too.
Yeah.
I've seen that shit before.
Well, here's the thing. I think this game is very much like this is what Bioshock 1 would have been like had you gone to Rapture before
Exactly.
its downfall.
You're in a very
And I don't think that
different
would have been as
environment,
good.
and that's what changed the tone. In Rapture, you're kind of picking through the corpse of this like dead city, and there's no political struggle. There's no this side and that side. I mean, there are still a few like players in the city that are
Yeah.
trying to influence things to go their way, but it's not this big like societal like political drama that Bioshock Infinite's kind of like just throwing you in the middle of. You've got the true believers that follow Comstock, and you've got the Vox Populi, and you don't really know anything about any of these people, and they all hate each other, and they're all seem pretty terrible when you meet them.
I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of just like swimming around in this, and it's almost as if Infinite has taken all of that like interpersonal political drama and replaced the original like horror atmosphere of Bioshock with that.
Yeah,
so you don't get that creepiness. You don't get that like dark sense of doom.
It's just
and
backdrop,
foreboding.
and I don't care about the backdrop. All I care about is my objective in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to kind of pinpoint why I don't think that's necessarily a big deal, because I don't think that was their goal here.
But that's that's the biggest goal of these games is creating this world.
I think I agree with Brad. I mean, I think the world around you is big, and it's supposed to be very important. I don't think I'm as bad as you in the sense that I don't care. I mean, I do care, and I have been learning more about what's going on and trying to make sure I'm paying attention to it, because I do think everyone's been telling me the story is what the best thing is, so I've been trying to make sure I pay attention to what's going on with Elizabeth's past and what's going on with Comstock. And the Vox Populi, I don't want to say they seem like an afterthought, but it seems like what's going on with the Comstock and this Columbia is what's very important. And so I've been trying to pay attention to that. Have you gotten to the Comstock house?
I'm right there. I'm
okay,
about
so
to go in.
a lot more story breaks out once you get there.
Well, good, because I think, and maybe this is a good way to transition to gameplay, I think honestly the game itself is sort of at odds with this world that it's trying to create. It's like the gameplay of Bioshock Infinite is shooting dudes and looting boxes.
Yes.
And the rest of the world is just audio logs and shit written on walls. And I feel, I've been ranting on this about
harsh, but I mean it's true. But there's something about the way they do it that I think is still.
But I've been ranting about this on Twitter. And Irrational is so concerned about making these really great, believable, interesting worlds that you've never seen before. And I think doing a straightforward, almost arcadey-like shooter is at odds with that kind of thing. If you really want to make that type of world, then do something like an RPG like Mass Effect.
Well, how would your world? How would you prefer the world to be?
Like, let me interact with some of these people that are supposed to be so goddamn interesting.
You can't talk to anybody.
Well, I mean, in any Bioshock, you've never really been able to do that. I mean, you have a few interactions with
No,
people.
I know.
But
I think this was a
But
problem
that
with
goes
the
back to the
original.
whole thing is that this city that you're in now isn't dead. Like
Yeah,
this is a living city that you're kind of walking around in a bell jar and you're not really interacting with it that much.
Yeah, like the original Bioshock, fucking audio logs and
So there
you
are
can't have conversations with people.
Have you been listening to the audio logs?
Yeah, I always.
So no, I think the audio logs in this are much better than they were in Bioshock. I think they add more to the story, especially with some of the. Like, I don't want to get too much into the tears, but I mean, where you're at, I know you've been there. Without trying to get too much into the story, but once you start going through a few different tears, things kind of change a little.
Okay. Yeah, no,
No, I know you've been there. And so have you been listening to the audio logs after you've been through those?
I've listened to everything.
Because, I mean, those start adding a little more...
Yeah, it changes sort of...
Like, have you listened to an audio log that you recorded?
Yes, I have.
I'm watching some of the reactions to people.
Hold on, but...
I'm just saying, I think a lot of people are failing to realize we haven't finished this game yet. There's still plenty of opportunity in this game to kind of turn
I have no
our
idea
opinions
how
around.
far I am in the game.
Let me be
I
clear.
can say this.
Let me be clear though about before we move on from my point of this being when you're playing an RPG and you're making you have dialogue trees and you're making decisions. It works so good for a world like this that has like multiple factions and different sides and being able to talk to people and sort of understand their side, like making it more interactive. Like the Mass Effect world is really not that deep, but we care so much about it because we feel like we have not just a place in it, but we feel like we're interacting with it in an interesting way. We are interacting with what makes it interesting, and that's the people. Right. Like the only interaction you're doing in Bioshock is shooting the people who don't like you, and I feel like it's a waste of potential. I think
we should kind of drop the story.
Okay.
Because once again, none of us have finished it, and apparently the ending does make a big difference. So I think we should stop talking about the story for now.
There's one thing I kind of want to. It's not like this is one thing that I wasn't really expecting, and it's just kind of the way my story unfolded, which is not like traditional games do it, I guess. But so I'll just say there's a character that you meet in the game, and y'all have all gotten to him at least, I know, and you have a choice of whether you kill him or you don't kill him. This is like one of the first like major characters. You go into a place,
Yeah,
you travel
I
through it,
remember that.
and I chose not to kill him. Did anyone else kill him? Or...
I didn't.
I don't know that we're talking about the same character.
No, we are.
Slade?
Okay.
The guy.
I did not kill him.
You don't
Okay.
kill him because you think that's
No.
going to lead to a bad ending,
No,
which
no.
is the problem
No, no.
with modern fucking
Let me-
games.
Let me say this is. I don't know if this happened to y'all, but this is something that happened to me, and it kind of blew my mind. And I don't know why. But later on, you're going through. You go
This is
through
kind
an
of spoiler.
interrogation or whatever, and I found him. Right, he was still alive, and
I'm not that far.
Yeah.
I know, but this you didn't have to do this. I walked into this room and I was like, oh, that's cool. He's still alive and he's still here, and he's kind of like comatose and just kind of not giving a shit. And I was like, oh, whatever. And I pulled my gun out. I was like, boom, and I shot him in the head. I was like, oh, because when you aim at him, if your gun kind of goes up, like I feel like it's not gonna let you do anything, interact with him. And at that point, I just shot him after the fact. This is like hours after I had let him live. And like Elizabeth goes, oh! And she like freaks out and she like backs away.
She'll usually freak out if you.
But
do
she was like,
something.
no, but she was like, well, I guess that's what he wanted to begin with, huh? And then like she commented on what I did,
I think I may have done that.
which
too.
I was just like, it was weird. Like they don't usually give you a second chance to kind of go back and change the decision you made the first time when it comes to like that kind of thing. It's either you let him live or you don't let him live. And I just took a whim and tried to shoot him for fun, thinking it wasn't going to work, and it happened.
So
And that was pretty cool.
let's talk more about the gameplay.
Yes, which at a core is a shooter. So
So hold on.
Not even at its core. I mean, that's
Hard,
straight up what it is.
Hard.
hard.
So we're all playing on hard. How do y'all feel the difficulty is?
It feels like normal.
It's it's not even that. It's not even about how difficult it is. It's just kind of mindless.
So
I set my birds and forget it.
Yeah, so that's what I've been feeling as well.
Okay.
Hold on. I've had no difficulty, except there are the few battles here and there, which I think are ridiculously more difficult than others.
Well, the
That's 'cause they
difficulty
throw
comes.
enemies that like lob
And
like
that's the
fucking
thing,
rockets
is they
at you.
throw, like, not exaggerating, like 30 enemies at you. And you have to do crowd control, and you have to do this, and you have, like, what are those founder guys?
The mechanized patriots.
Yeah, the Patriot.
Yeah.
You have a Patriot shooting at you and all this stuff, and it's almost too much for me to handle. How have y'all been using your infusions? What
Okay.
have y'all been leveling up?
I've been
I've been
primarily
staying
Not
pretty
enough.
even with it. I mean,
Oh,
I
infusions,
I
okay.
feel like my shield does nothing,
Yeah.
and my health,
Yeah,
like
'cause
the
I think
second
we're on
the
hard.
shield
I don't think it's
goes,
balanced well for harder difficulty.
Okay.
the second my shield goes and I take any damage, I've lost all of my health.
okay.
Like I'm actually having a hard time with some
I
of this
I
stuff.
started with pumping into shield a bunch, but then I realized it's such a minimal upgrade, and one fucking shot will kill your shield anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't
that
even
I
look
started
like the
doing my
targets
health.
any longer. Like,
I am using a tonic or what vigor that no one didn't even know
We're not
existed.
talking about vigors. We're talking about
I know,
stats.
But
We're-
we're talking about gameplay in general.
Oh,
Are you talking about a
Maybe-
gear?
No, I'm talking about a.
the power.
Wait, it's gear. Yeah,
Gear.
It's a piece of gear
Yeah.
that I have that no one didn't even. I don't know. You may have it at this.
So,
point.
real quick. For those who don't know, there's infusions in the game, and they're just things that level up either your shield, your health, or your...
Like a Skyrim style. Pick
Like a
one.
Skyrim style, or
Yeah.
your mana, what are those that called in these games?
Salt magic.
Your salt level. There are vigors, which are the
Plasmids.
the plasmids, and the what are they called them too? Whatever.
Plasma.
Spells.
The abilities, your special abilities, and then there are gears, which are like equipment, like hats and pants
Which
and
those,
shit.
those are sort of
It's
no,
gear.
they're not new either.
Gears
Yeah,
are-
that's new.
But before
Yeah,
that,
pants, hat, shirt, and
but they're not new. Before they were like passive plasma.
Yeah, they were passive plasmids.
Oh, they were tonics. They were gene
Tonics, that's what it
before,
was.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now they're called gears, but you can, whatever.
Yeah.
So what was the one you were talking about?
So I stumbled across a piece of gear.
And gear is randomized in this game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
randomized, but I stumbled across one that when you ingest anything that gives you health, like apple, health pack, whatever, it gives you temporary invulnerability for like.
I
6 or
just
7
got that. I
seconds.
think. Is that good?
It makes combat so much more enjoyable.
I just got that.
See, that's
Because-
not fair.
And I gotta no, because you're not constantly. It doesn't feel so mindless. Like it becomes strategic. Like when I'm getting
Okay.
low on health, I'm like, holy shit, and I have to like duck behind shit while they're shooting him, and then make a run for a corpse, hoping he has like an apple or something on him. Ingest it. All of a sudden, I'm invulnerable. And I
Hold on,
turn
we'll
around
get
and
to
they're
that.
unloading on me, and I'm not taking any damage. I just start mowing people down, and like. it started making me use more different types of vigors and stuff like that. Because before I was just using my birds and forgetting about it, but when I started combining that with having temporary bouts of invulnerability, I was like, okay, I'm invulnerable. I'll switch to my my electricity and I'll shock them, and then I'll fire my shotgun, and it just became a lot more diverse for me when I was playing.
Well, thank God,
That
because
gear.
without something like that, it's pretty straightforward.
Can I ask just a preferential question? Why are you guys using the Murder of Crows so much?
There's an ability you get.
Because I don't like the way I've been using it.
I can
I don't
answer
know because it takes up way too much salt and doesn't do enough.
Here,
I'll tell you what.
when you
There's-
upgrade it, if you kill someone with it, like if you shoot them and you kill them while they're being attacked by crows, they become a crow trap.
Not even that.
Okay,
That's not even the good part. That's not
here's
even the
other
good part.
thing too. You have to pay like $1,500 to get that. I have never held more than $300.
That's not even the good
Like,
part. That's
I'm
not
not-
even the
I guess.
base level of birds is good. And I'll tell you why. If you go into the options menu and you turn on enemy data,
Oh yeah.
when you shoot the birds at just out and they start attacking enemies, it'll say like above their head vulnerable, and it'll show up the damage numbers.
So you see where your enemies are.
So it becomes a way of like popping out, shooting out my birds, and then you see where they are, and then pop out and shoot, and they're dead.
Because right now the ones
That's
I've been
the use.
using, the ones I've been using the most have been Shock Jock and Bucking Bronco.
I do like
so
Bucking Bronco.
So Murder of Crows and Bucking Bronco are good for crowd control, and I'll tell you why Bucking Bronco is good for me at least is because I have a gear called Storm of something, Storm something, and how it works is when I use there's 3 different ones I can't remember, Bucking Bronco and 2 other ones, but when I use it on somebody, it will spread to other people around them. So the thing is like. Literally, if I use Bucking Bronco and if anyone else is near them, they will all start popping up in the air. And so I can, I can literally just like, because there's one boss battle and y'all aren't there yet.
Carlos said he turned it down to easy.
Yeah. So there's a boss battle where all the boss does is bring dead people back to life.
What?
And when you kill, they're gonna bring back to life.
So you have to focus all your attention on him.
Yes, but you can't because there's like 10 or 15 guys you're fighting. And you'll
So you
kill them,
have to wrap
but then they'll
them
bring them back to life. And if you get close to the boss, they use this area of effect attack that does a lot of damage, kills your shield, and does some health damage. And honestly, the way I ended up beating it, and it was the only way I could, was I got all of the guys close, and I would use that Bucking Bronco, and they would all be up in the air. And so I could then focus on the
Upgrade that
boss,
shit.
and then as soon as they dropped, I only had to use it on one person because it would chain to the rest of them, and then I just was able to kill the boss.
Every plasmid is... Most of the plasmids are
Vigor.
just kind of crowd control.
Yeah, there are a
vigor.
lot of them are.
Like I don't feel like there's
They all have
there-
trap mode.
I don't feel like there's a ton of creativity in.
I feel like that's
Or maybe it's because after playing 2 Bioshock games, they've
they
run
all-
out of ideas.
They all seem like iterations of past
But
tonics.
it's all-
Like the crows in the last one was bees. I mean, it's the same.
But I mean, I'm saying like I feel like in previous Bioshock games they were different. Like you were
They weren't
you were
all,
like
Not
like
that-
you had
that
like
different.
fucking bots flying around. Maybe I'm not remembering.
I don't necessarily agree with that because I find them all. I feel like these are on the same level.
You could
as that.
possess like a big daddy, and that was like a big deal.
Right.
Or you
You
could
can possess people in
you
this.
could have I know,
Can you
but
ever
but
upgrade
it's
the-
not. It's different. It's like that big daddy became sort of like your minion for
That's
a
true.
while, and like and it was cool. Like you made it think you were a little
Man,
sister.
we haven't
you know?
gotten all of them yet. So let's
No, I have gotten all of them.
Oh, you have.
So I
Wait,
have as
how
well.
have you done that? Because
I'm far.
Oh,
Wait,
apparently
you're
not.
not further than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm far.
So you just got that one then?
I've had it for a
The
little
last
while,
one.
but yeah,
The
sort of.
the
Yeah,
Spartan.
yeah, I just sort of.
So that's one of my favorite vigors. And the cool thing about this one is most vigors you just hold them and then you can set a trap.
Yeah.
Well, this one, if you hold it, any bullet that shot at you gets collected into it, and then you can throw it back.
I just don't see too much use
So it's
for
like
that.
Neo.
Yes, essentially. So it can be helpful. But my problem is I haven't been using my whole array of vigors. Like I seem to be focusing on like a couple of them, and the other ones like they don't seem to help.
It's because of its really poor upgrade system.
No, so that is one thing. Like Crispy was saying, all the upgrades for vigors are like $1,500.
I feel like the upgrades for vigor should be experience based. How often you use them, you should be gaining.
Okay. So this brings
Would
me
be
to
good.
like a huge point with this game, and that it's afraid to be this deeper thing. Like there's no reason that this game shouldn't have something like, I don't know, an inventory system, but not even that. Like how about fucking
I had a problem with that today.
How about skill trees and weapon upgrade systems that are a little bit more sophisticated? Why are they gating all this stuff to, like, after you get to this point in the game you can unlock upgrade this vigor and this vigor? Why don't they just give you get a vigor and there's like a skill tree for it, and you can invest in it if you want. You can sort of like make that vigor kind of become the thing you want, or if you don't like it, you can invest in another vigor. It's all just points and experience.
They're just trying to simplify it.
Why isn't this game more of an RPG like System Shock 2 was? It doesn't make any sense. Like they're simplifying it, and it's becoming like worse because of it.
That's a good point, because I was thinking about this with the weapons upgrades earlier. Specifically, like, you're right, like, they decided to change how you upgrade weapons in Infinite from the last two games. I like the system from the original two games, where it was you found one of those machines, you got to put one weapon in it, and it would do one upgrade for you, and then you could never use that machine again.
Correct.
So those machines, whenever you found one, which they were pretty rare, that was like a big deal, and it was like, oh shit, what am I gonna upgrade? And it even kind of like rewarded you by making the gun itself like look cooler.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, in this one, it's just another vending machine. They're all over the place. They all sell the same thing. And it's like, just $200, and you can have more damage for that weapon.
Why are they dumbing down games? If you look at, like, a couple of years ago or whatever, like, what's always the best-selling game of the year? Call of Duty. And I think the year Skyrim came out, it was number 2. Those games have, like, way more fucking depth and customization than Bioshock does. So why is Irrational afraid to make the deeper games they used to make? Why are they simplifying it? Because I think it's...
Because they're trying to appeal to a bigger...
But I'm saying the biggest games in the world are way deeper than this.
It's like a prestige.
So isn't that kind of, like, illogical to think that the way you gather more people is to simplify things? Like, there's way more fucking depth and customization in multiplayer of Call of Duty than both fucking Bioshock games combined.
No, that's true.
Did y'all know you can possess vending machines?
There's still one.
Yes.
There's still
I
one
didn't know
element.
it'll pop out a bunch of money.
No, that's cool.
There's still one element of this game that we haven't talked much about, which I think is the biggest addition, and also, honestly, the thing that I think makes all the other problems we have with the game a little less, disparaging of the game, or I don't know, crazy it would be, but the rail system.
No, that's the coolest part of the whole
Hold on,
game.
before we get to that, I still want to talk about back to gameplay and like combat.
I mean, rail system ties into combat.
It does.
For one.
What guns have y'all been using? Just anything? Or
Carbine.
I either
carbine.
use the carbine, the machine gun.
I go back and forth between either a mix of the carbine and the hand cannon, or the hand cannon and the shotgun.
I just got the hand cannon. That's pretty cool.
So
That's actually the first
Have y'all been
gun.
focusing on just upgrading those guns, or have y'all been upgrading a variety?
Yeah, I mean, I've been
of
obviously
Here and there. Like, the thing is, you can't just upgrade the guns you like, because they really limit, like, when stuff pops up, when the upgrades pop up. I mean, just like look at something like Resident Evil 4. I like the Red 9. The whole upgrade tree is in front of me, and if I want to save up and invest in all the upgrades for the Red 9, I can't. I don't have to put upgrades into this other weapon. But here, you don't even have that option. I don't understand the vending machine like gating system. If balance is your concern, then you make more powerful upgrades more expensive, so you have to save up for them. But at least quit taking like opportunities to really sort of create the character you want away from the player. I feel like they're so close to doing something really cool. Like when you combine, like weapons and weapon upgrades with vigors and vigor upgrades with that equipment, they're close to like almost to the point where you can have a build. Yeah. You can have a build in Bioshock, which would be great, but they haven't gone far enough. If they gave you, the option to upgrade what you wanted when you wanted with your weapons and your vigors, and maybe a little more equipment popping up here and there, maybe even random loot from fucking enemy kills would be nice. Another problem is that the only thing you ever find in boxes and corpses is like fucking apples and salts. And I've been ranting about this too, but I know no fucking Bioshock player in the world that's playing this game right now goes around and opens up a desk and go, what's in here? Should I take that or that or that? No, it's super simplified. You just run around mashing fucking X because it's mindless.
So my problem with that is, at least personally, and I've had a problem with all the other Bioshocks in this sense, is that when you're full on either health or salts or whatever you want to call them, is you'll still take those food items and they're gone now. And I don't like that. I don't like that I can...
And sometimes you do have to be careful too, like if you've got full salts, and you just need a little bit of health, and then you end up taking something that gives you
Way too much.
health, but then takes away like a shit ton of
yeah.
salt.
But who even pays attention
So
to that shit?
I
Yeah.
ignore cigarettes and alcohol just because I don't like the variants.
Mhm.
But the thing is, like, I'll open a drawer and it'll have money and like an apple and something else.
Cotton
And I'm-
candy.
Well, yeah, and cotton candy. So
There's a take all button. There is not even a not take all button. That like is symbolic of kind of a problem here of that a lot of the stuff you're finding in these things is somewhat it lacks meaning. Like I brought it up before, but notice that the only things that you find that are even remotely important are the equipment and lockpicks, and 100% of the time, you're never going to find equipment in anything. It's going to be sitting out in the world, and 99% of the time, you're going to find lockpicks sitting out in the world. Apparently, some people with like harder enemies, you can find lockpicks, but that makes sense too. But like random corpses, random boxes, you're never really going to find anything important. It's all just fucking health management, which
and
really
ammo.
doesn't even mean all that much, anyways. Because when you
It
get into a
does.
fight, you'll just get it from a corpse.
And ammo.
I completely agree with you.
Well, ammo too, but again, that's nothing you're not going to want to pick up because there's no inventory system, there's no weight system, there's no item limit. I feel like looting stuff is remnants of are core things to an RPG, and this is not an RPG, and it's weird and
This is
awkward
like the
here.
trappings of an RPG.
And it's almost
without the
distracting.
actual
I get into an environment and I'm so focused on fucking looting every single thing that I'm not like taking the time to really look around. And maybe that's my OCD problem a little bit. But when it doesn't really need to be there, it's shocking.
It might also explain why you're not enjoying the world quite as much.
Maybe.
But I was going to say, and I completely agree with you about the mashing of the buttons to basically check everything.
It's tedious.
It's tedious. It's tedious. It's kind of unnecessary. But I will say, once you get that gear that gives you the invulnerability from taking health items, all of a sudden finding little health items throughout the world. No
But
matter how
only when you're in
inconsequential,
combat.
But only when you're in combat. Yes. So it's not necessarily a good trade-off, but it does make a lot more sense when and if you have that gear, because like you said, gear is randomized. You may not even find that gear or find it until the end of the
I
game.
just found it. But the thing is, we're playing on hard. Think about how often you really need to eat fucking health and mana shit when you're outside of battle. Like it's never a fucking issue. There's no like traps or anything.
So real quick, just while we're still talking about combat, I do have one gear that is helpful to me as well. I don't know if y'all have encountered this one, but it's when you do an excessive amount of damage to an enemy when you kill them, like overkill from like Final Fantasy. It will stun all the enemies around them, and that's very helpful.
Now, here's the thing: like we have been coming off kind of negative, but there's
Put that
certain
into a
things-
tree.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of creativity, and especially I think there's more creativity in the gear than there is in a lot of stuff. There's a lot of really cool abilities that make.
Well, you have to
combat-
balance the gears.
Because-
I spend a lot of time choosing which ones I want.
Yeah, the gear is super great, and
Go deeper.
yeah, you could go deeper, but there's all getting like I have a piece of gear that like when you jump off of a rail, when you hit the ground, it like
gives you speed.
knocks
boost.
people
Oh,
back.
Yeah.
So like
Which is cool.
I strategically jump onto the rails, do a loop around the map, and then come back to where there's a big group of enemies, let go, and go boom, and they all go flying.
Imagine if that was part
Is
of
yours
a
like a
skyline,
knockback
like
or
fucking
fire?
skill tree.
It's a knockback. So like
I have one that
so
does fire.
It's literally like you hit the ground, you go, and like
Well,
everyone flies
there's a
away.
lot of gears that are similar but one-off. Like when you jump
Right.
off the gear, you have a speed boost, or you have invincibility for a couple of seconds.
and they're all
Whatever.
over the place, and that's
So,
great.
Another
love
problem
that
I
stuff.
have with this game is the melee. It's kind of fucking
It's-
pointless.
Dude,
Remember how iconic the wrench was in
Yes.
the original Bioshock? It would be kind of nice to like you were talking about builds. It would be kind of nice to be able to have that
There's
option to
equipment
like
that focuses
like,
on melee,
in
but
the first
it
game
seems
you
weak.
could have all your tonics and all your plasmids
But you would work them
centered
together.
around just using that wrench, and there was like wrench runs through the game.
Yeah.
it felt
You
significant.
can't do that in
So
this
my
game.
problem with this, and this is what Brad was talking about with the shield earlier. My shield right now is maxed. It is maxed. 10 whatever. I put infusions to max it out.
Damn.
And so I will go up and I will hit a guy and it'll do an eighth of dead damage to him. He'll swing once at me, my shield's gone, and I've lost some health now. And what am I supposed to do? I can't keep hitting him with the like or with
Yes,
your
you can.
Skyhook.
the skyhook. The melee in this game is pointless. I try to sneak up on a
Dude, I
guy.
kill so many dudes with the melee.
Really?
Yes, I'm fucking a whale on people with the melee.
And you take no
Oh,
damage.
hard. I feel like maybe
No, I mean,
it doesn't
if
feel
you,
well.
If you hit them if you hit them in the head while they're in mid attack, they get fucking. They don't even get to hit him. They
Okay,
get
so
knocked
so
back.
for me, it's a balancing
stunned.
thing. But like, I'm never at a point where like using a melee is the best option. I have fucking birds and I have a carbine. You know, like there's never such a situation where the melee is gonna be better than those options. The only option is a last resort, and it's for me, it's kind of a shitty last resort. Like I'm completely out of ammo. You know,
Okay.
which rarely happens.
So
but
we need
hold
to-
on, but
We need to move on
before
a second.
I
There's
just want
things
to wrap
that
up my
we need to
last
cover.
point though, because I've been getting a lot of criticism about saying when I'm saying there should be more systems, there should be more of an RPG. People should I should be appreciating the game for what it is, you know, not what I want it to be. The reason I'm not going to concede that is because this is the same developer from the same spiritual predecessor already had this deeper game, and it was better for it. Like this isn't a situation where this game just wants is this thing. No, this is a series that actually got simplified. It's the same kind of complaints as people saying, well, Skyrim isn't as good because they used to do these games that were so much better and deeper back when they did, like, you know, Morrowind. And I think that can be applied to System Shock 2. I mean, even though it's not the same fucking name, you'd be fucking insane to say that, you know, these aren't actual sequels to like, you know, what you're doing in those games isn't the sequels to, like, the System
We
Shock
haven't even
series.
mentioned the checkpointing system, which
I was saving that for last.
Oh, yeah, that's the
But
worst fucking part.
I want to talk about some of the things that we like because we've been very focused.
I was
on
getting
things
all the
we don't
hate out of
like.
the way first. Then
Yeah, but now we have to move on to the next segment. So we haven't.
were talking about the world, though. We were talking about... Y'all were talking about things you like.
No. We haven't talked about the rail system yet, which I think is ingenious.
No,
No,
that is my favorite part of the game.
My favorite part as well.
It not only is it incredibly satisfying, free, like it gives you a lot
I was
of
worried
freedom.
about it at first.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
all my worries are gone.
Yeah, that system, as far as getting around the city and stuff and environments, really satisfying. When you throw combat in there, it's fucking incredible, and it opens up all kinds of strategies for it. Like it's like getting into a firefight and realizing you're in over your head, and all of a sudden looking up and jumping onto a skyhook and like sailing away. So satisfying.
I wish more enemies used the skyhooks.
Yeah.
I think that would add a lot more to combat.
I mean, they do occasionally, but you know, not near.
No, it's so rare. At one point, when there were a bunch of people on the skyhook, I was shooting them, and it's like, don't shoot your allies. And I was like, what? Apparently, like...
Oh, because Elizabeth uses it.
No, it was the Vox Populi, who I was fighting with at the time, were using it, and I didn't realize because I thought they were any other enemy. You could also jump from the skyhook and kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they were your friends. I didn't like that it let me do that.
Joseph in chat brings up another good point. I'm kind of shotgun off some of these points that I do like because we did spend a lot of time talking about our criticisms. But like, this game could have easily fallen into the pitfall of being a escort mission,
But it's not.
but it's not. Elizabeth doesn't. You don't even need to pay attention. She will never die, which is, I mean, she is there specifically as a support character. So she will throw you things you need in battle, including health, assaults, ammo.
I don't think you can praise the game for that, though.
How do you
I mean,
She has no presence in the world. I mean, it's a non-fucking issue. Yeah, it's not an escort mission, because when it comes to combat, she's not even really there.
She helps you, though.
Are you kidding me? She's so invaluable.
No, she throws, like,
I'm
like,
talking
she
about
throws,
opening up
like...
tears.
And opening up tears.
Is she opening up tears, or are you hitting buttons? I'm saying she's not a
That's
real
true.
physical
You're pointing at something
person
hitting
walking
hands.
around the world. You know who did escort missions good? You know, the Resident Evil series. Like Resident Evil 5. You know, I ranted about this on Twitter, but Sheva is bold and fucking impressive for a character you can't control because she's just as fragile as you are.
But the
you know,
problem-
she can die in one fucking hit. She's ammo limited.
She can
and
use
she
up
can
all
hold
your
your own.
green
She'll
herbs,
save your
too, when
ass.
she
Yeah,
doesn't need
if she
to.
dies, you get a game over, and that can be frustrating because you're supposed to be watching her back. She's watching your back. That's bold to design a game
The problem-
around that. Maybe it didn't always work, but it's impressive. There's nothing impressive about her presence in the world here. She just doesn't have one. They took the easy way out. And I'm not saying the game is bad for that, but I'm saying people are praising her for that, and I don't think this is something that should be like worthy of praise.
There have been moments in the game though where her input has helped me find something like not in combat. Like I was walking around, she's like, "Oh, there's lockpick over there that I haven't seen."
No.
Like,
I wasn't talking about that. I was
so
talking about just in combat. Outside of combat, like just her dialogue and stuff. That's cool. That's
I
cool.
understand. Like
The problem is, Sheva was designed to be a co-op player. She was designed to be there,
Yeah.
so when no one's playing as her, she is
Yeah.
still
Somebody
there doing the
else
things she's
should be
supposed to be doing.
controlling her.
Elizabeth is not designed to be a co-op player.
I
This
know.
game is designed to be an escort game where you were escorting her from point A to point
But she
B.
has no physical presence in the world.
I think she does have
In combat.
I agree. You are telling her to do things, but I do also think that she can be helpful at times when I run out of ammo. Not a whole lot, but there are many times where I run out of ammo and she's like, Here's here's the fucking gun. And I'm like, oh, thank God she had that. Thank
But-
God she had a health pack to help me out.
Programming
Otherwise, I would
wise,
have been fucked.
programming wise, that's no different than the games that can detect that you're low on ammo, and when you kill an enemy, it pops up that ammo clip. It's no different than that. It just has a pretty package, literally.
Alright, here's something I do want to say about Elizabeth, and I know we don't want to.
Hold on, real quick. Wait. Chris mentioned something. He said compare the times when you're with her to the times you aren't with her. I don't think y'all have experienced too many times without her, though, have you?
I have. I'm saying she makes it easier because she gives you ammo and health and
with
stuff.
her, though.
Really? Because later on in the game,
Because
you play
in the beginning, you don't have her.
a lot more without her, and it can get difficult.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to fall back in the whole. This is what I wish the game could have been, but I feel like I feel like the rational would have thought.
Wait, is what Joseph is saying true?
She does find stuff in the world, yeah. Like Crispy was saying, she'll point out, like, hey, look at this, like for lockpicks and
No.
stuff like that.
I'm talking about in combat when she throws you ammo and when she throws you like
Coins.
money and stuff. Is that stuff she's actually picked up?
No.
No.
I don't believe that.
No, I think so.
It is not.
No.
Is it? Are you sure?
I promise you it's not, but she does have a limited supply. She can only find them X amount of times, and then she will run out of shit.
Yeah,
if you've ever experienced, she'll be like, I don't have anything, I'll keep looking.
Yeah, I think there's a timer in the background because she will sometimes say, she's like, that's all I can find right now, or,
Yeah.
or that's all I have right now, or give me a minute.
That's all
and
I
I think
have.
that's because she's run out of her a lot of number of times she can
Yeah.
throw you something, and you have to wait until it recharges.
I still don't think that's very impressive.
I don't think
like
it
compared
is.
to something like Shiva,
Well, and
who's
she
not only
does
picking up
always-
stuff, but she's using it like herself.
When
No.
she's throwing you ammo, it's always for like that gun you're using.
no.
It's
I
like-
thought Elizabeth was going to be this character doing these badass things in
People-
fights. That was what, when they first showed off this game, she was doing these crazy things. Like, she got these pots and pans together, made a giant, like, fucking fireball out of it, Like, where's that? She's so, like in the background in fights. I thought it was going to be the opposite.
Okay, as many times as I've tried to get this back on track and talk about the things we liked, we keep talking about things we don't like. So I think it's
But,
time
I
to move
mean,
on. We can
We like
revisit-
what we liked about Bioshock. The first one. It's...
I'd say we revisit this after we've all finished the game next week.
Sure,
I think we're not hating on it, but I think we're bringing up a lot of the things we dislike about it because of the fact, or at least me personally, because I was so excited and I was let down by some things. I'm not saying I hate this game. I've been having fun playing it. Some of the characters I've been fighting against have been really interesting. Later on, I don't think y'all are there yet because I just got there last night. You encounter a new enemy type that is pretty fucking crazy. I think some of the enemies are interesting. I liked a lot of the weapons. I think are well designed. The weapon upgrading system I don't like, but I think the weapons are good. I really like some of the things they've done with the new vigors. I'm not saying I hate this game. There are a lot of things I really enjoy. The background story I've been liking. Some of the later events. I'm not saying I'm hating on the stuff because there's a lot of things I didn't think I was going to dislike, but that doesn't mean the game is bad. And a lot of people say the game, the good thing, the best part of the game is the last 10%. And so, I mean, none of us are there yet. And
Joseph seems adamant that, yes, she's finding stuff in the world, but I honestly don't believe it. Because
Honestly,
there's been
I
times
don't think it matters.
She throws things to me in the world, and I still find plenty of stuff in the world
Dude,
after the combat's over.
I
What do
feel
people- I
like
don't
she
know.
had, because there have been times where she's been like, here, ammo, and I've been like, oh, I think I didn't loot that guy. Like, I think I missed
The
that.
thing is, I have OCD. I comb these things. Like, with a fine-toothed comb.
Oh, man.
The point is, I think in the end, that stuff is so inconsequential. I don't think that matters that much.
Unless she has this imaginary inventory and she's been carrying stuff around. She picks up shit without even
honestly,
seeing it.
I think it kind of does matter. I think it would actually be better if she did physically find things in the world to
Well,
give
they're
them to
saying
you.
that she does, so I don't
Chad is saying she is. Honestly, from my experience, this is just me personally, at the beginning I thought that was happening, but then the more I played the game, I realized at least I didn't think it was. At one point, I was hiding up on a balcony where there was nothing, and she threw me ammo.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something she had picked up.
And also, why would in the actual like when you're exploring the world, why would she say, "Hey, there's a lockpick," instead of saying, "Oh, look, I found this lockpick. Here, have it."
But
She points at it, and you have to go pick
they're
it up.
specifically talking about combat in the sense that when she throws you health packs and stuff
Yeah,
like
She
that.
throws you coins in the world too. Why not throw you a lockpick?
Mhm.
Like she'll stop you and hey, you need money?
Oh, and by
Throw
the
you
way,
a
for
coin.
someone who claims to be so good at fucking lockpicks, she goes through 5 of them to open one lock. Just
Well,
saying.
it depends on the on the difficulty.
Have you ever run out of lockpicks though?
No.
Do I-
Well, I did early on.
Early, but right now I have like 30.
Yeah, I have about 25 right
Yeah.
now.
Dude,
Okay, so I don't
the
understand.
fuck?
I don't.
Our resources are like way skewed. I never have enough bullets. I never have enough money.
You
I
don't
never have
explore
enough.
enough.
You know what'd be nice?
You're not-
Yeah,
I explore every.
You know what'd be nice, Chris? If you had a fucking inventory to carry more ammo if you chose.
That would be nice.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're not very far yet, though.
I guess.
No. Early
That
on.
balance.
I'm in Thinkton.
That balance
Is that-
shifts.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
I will say I don't understand why people are giving us or me so much shit for like criticizing this game. Like, what do you want us to do? Just heap praise and love at it? I feel like if you do that and you don't fill out if you don't mention the stuff that's actually bothering you, like they're not gonna listen. Shit's not gonna change. And when stuff's not perfect, when you want a game to be deeper, if you don't say so, why would they ever decide to, make it deeper? That's why, myths and misconceptions become reality. Like, we've all accepted that simpler means it sells more copies. Yeah. And I think because we all believe that, the publishers, they start to believe it, but they're the ones who actually have control. They're doing it. We need to be saying, wait a minute, but the reason Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare became this huge success, lifted it over all these other shooters, because of this. It was because of this insane customization that you can do, these RPG mechanics, this experience, the leveling up. That's what people like. That's what made it the biggest thing in the world. So why aren't publishers, instead of fucking shoving this myth down our throats so they can take the easy way out when they're making games, actually look at reality and say, hey, people like depth. People like Skyrim more than fucking Demon Forge the Hunted.
Simpler is easier.
Okay.
Simpler is easier. That's why
More
they fucking do it.
I completely agree with you, and I think it's time to move on.
I agree.
We will revisit this game next week once we've finished it. Maybe we'll have more time to spend talking about the things we really like about it. I have a feeling we'll have more things to say about it.
I don't dislike this game, but I have to shout my criticisms from the mountaintop because everyone else is singing louder, about how much of a 10
I've
out of 10
actually
this
never
is.
seen a reaction from chat more.
No, I like that people are disagreeing, because the problem is, like you were saying, I've been seeing everyone's giving it a 10. And this is just my opinion, but why are you giving it a 10 where there are so many flaws with the game? Like we were talking about the fact that I honestly don't think any game is a 10 out of 10. I do think you have to give certain games.
Well,
a
Link
10
to the
out of 10.
Past, but
God damn it, Brandon.
But yeah,
Hey, we need to cut
yeah,
it.
that's fine.
I
move
get
on.
what you're saying. I definitely agree.
we'll revisit this once. I hopefully all of us by next week will have finished the game. And
I think this conversation was more fun than just throwing praise at it for an hour.
to be fair, this is also one of the biggest games in several years, so it's worthy of a long conversation.
And I don't think
So we can't hate ourselves for that.
I think people will be surprised. I think this game will still be mentioned at the end
First
of
of
the year.
all,
talking about games. So-
last of all, I'll also say I played this game for 12 hours, maybe something like that. I don't regret what I've played so far.
No, of course not. But people don't understand that.
I honestly wish I was at home playing it right now. So I think I think
People like some of these people out there, some of these chatters, some of these fucking parody accounts seem to think that you can't really like a game and really dislike certain parts of it. They don't understand that that's possible. That doesn't make sense to me. I had to have it any other way. You have to.
that's true.
It
That's true. Okay, we're gonna cut it. I agree with what you're saying. We'll revisit this next week. So stay tuned. When we come back, we'll talk about Square. There's a bunch of Square Enix news. We'll talk about Metal Gear Solid and the Phantom Pain. Same thing. So, and I think a few other things.
There's some news topics.
Some other big news coming up. So stick with us, guys. We'll be right back. Damn dirty shame. Hey guys, welcome to the We Hate Bioshock Infinite cast.
apparently.
In other
The
news,
thing is, y'all
Kill the
are
non-believers!
y'all are kind of acting like, man, I didn't see this coming, but I've been fucking experiencing this shit all week because I've been playing it on the feed and tweeting about it. People are like,
shaking the
Waggling
fingers.
the finger.
I find your lack of faith in Bioshock disturbing.
Yes.
Anyways, now that that's over,
Yeah.
it's not over. Next
no,
week.
yeah, next week we'll talk.
I would love to see the way this shit wraps up,
I'm
This
invested.
game wraps up.
This game, I was just being hip. Sorry.
I'm invested in Bioshock. Let's move on and never talk about Bioshock again tonight. Our segment is all about news, and there's been some news this week. Actually, so we
You're
took a week.
fucking kidding me.
What?
Nothing. Just keep going.
What?
It
Don't
is
say
late.
shit. Don't shit like that. Okay. Anyways, so we missed a show last week because we had just come back from PAX. By the way, thank you so much everybody who came out and saw us at PAX East. We had a blast at the community meetup.
No.
We had a blast recording the podcast, the live podcast on day 2. It was so much fun. In fact, it kind of inspired us to change our setup here at home. Kind of what you're seeing. Thank you, Nolan, for doing that.
I set it up.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Nolan. So yeah, anyways, had a blast at PAX East. We hope you enjoyed all of our coverage. If you have any feedback, if you want to let us know what you thought about it, please send us emails, leave comments. We'd really appreciate it. Reborn would like me to inform you that I stepped on the cupcakes.
You didn't step on the cupcakes.
Oh,
you put the cupcakes on the ground, and then Jeff stepped on
I
them.
put the cupcakes on the ground, and then Jeff stepped on the cupcakes.
There was cupcakes and somebody stepped on.
Well, we ate most of them before it happened.
Hyde's gonna be replacing Brad for the second segment.
We ate most of the cupcakes, and then Jeff stepped on what was left of them because I stupidly left them on the floor.
So it was your fault.
It was my fault and Jeff's fault. Actually, it was everyone's fault for not eating all of them before we recorded the show. Anyways,
It was Jeff's
we-
shoes' fault. Ban shoes.
we had a blast. Thank you, everybody. It was really awesome and incredibly humbling to have everybody show up and watch us record the show.
You know, maybe next show we can.
I think
Like a
it's
panel.
I think we're aiming to do a panel or at the very least make that kind of live recording a regular thing when we go to PAX.
PAX? You mean you remember me, Hatecast? Fuckers.
Did you play the game then?
Yeah.
God.
I just let it happen. I was like, I could do something.
You watched all of that go down.
Brad's laptop
So
just
I
took a
wrote a
nasty
Remember
tumble.
Me article. What happened to that?
I was. Shut up. It's still in draft.
It's a draft on the site. This huge.
No,
Remember
it's
Me
because I
article
went to edit
wrote.
it and not realizing that you wrote the whole thing on your tablet, so it was all one giant paragraph. So I was like, I'm gonna edit this later, and then it just never happened. Sorry. But yeah, I think PAX East this time turned out to be one of our best conventions we've gone to yet, and we intend to make that kind of coverage a regular thing. What are you laughing at?
Somebody's implying that the computer got knocked over because it liked Bioshock.
That's awesome.
Superseller
So-
2 over in chat.
Yeah, just wanted to say that PAX was great fun, and we're back on schedule now. So, first news topic. Some of this news kind of happened while we were at PAX or the week following, so sorry if we're a little late to the party here. But Metal Gear Solid 5 was officially. What are you?
Someone in chat said I have money. I don't have any. I'm so poor.
Yeah, we
Got the plastic.
Got the student loans. That's what I
Yeah.
got.
Got Sally Mae breathing down my neck.
Checking out my
Alright.
news.
okay. So Metal Gear Solid 5 confirmed.
The Phantom Pain?
Phantom Pain, the mysterious trailer they showed at the Spike VGAs last year, was in fact confirmed to be Metal Gear Solid 5. What?
Really?
Oh, you're being facetious. So I think there's a lot to talk about here. Metal Gear Solid is a series that we love, or as people in the community like to think, we hate because we criticize it.
Do we really criticize Metal Gear
Well,
Solid?
it's a
that
game we
much?
love, so we hate it.
I've
Probably.
criticized it.
We'll just talk shit about it for an hour when it comes out.
Yeah.
I love this game.
I do think we have shit a lot on 2 and 4, but I think 1 and 3 we've overall.
Did we shit a lot on 4? I think.
Oh, I could talk some shit about
I think
3.
last time we talked about 4, which was a couple weeks ago, it
You know,
was
if-
mostly negative.
If people, you know what? We should make a new podcast series where we just take beloved games and just shit on them for an hour.
Sacred cow.
The problem
Oh,
is,
yeah, you're right.
is a lot of the games that I play, like some of my favorite games of all time. Yeah, I could talk hours about how much shit I hate about them, but they're still like some of my favorite.
It doesn't
games of all
change the
time.
fact that they're awesome.
Yeah.
So Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. So here's the thing. So Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. In fact, 2 parts of the same thing. However, they will be distributed separately Did y'all read about the connection between those two things?
Phantom
How they're
Pain's a
gonna work?
prologue to Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes is a prologue
Opposite.
to Phantom
So,
Pain.
Yeah, that's what I said. The opposite. It's opposite day.
They haven't really confirmed details as to how Ground Zeroes will be distributed. I kind of want to guess that it's going to be a digitally distributed thing because they're comparing it to like the tanker level at Metal Gear Solid 2, which is only a fraction of.
They will
of the
sell
full-
this thing for money.
Well, no, they'll
Yeah,
sell it for money
but I
Because
mean,
they know
is-
they can.
is it
No,
only
no,
gonna
no.
be,
I mean,
like,
this
3
is going to
hours
be
long,
like.
or-
Sorry. Of course they're going to sell it for money. That's not what I meant. They're going to sell it in a
For
box
hairs.
for a lot of money.
I saw this thing
for
on-
$60.
Well, maybe like this is going to be like a
But I mean,
Gran Turismo prologue thing.
But seriously, like the whole idea of Ground Zeroes is really cool and
No, no,
intriguing. I mean, is it really only going to be like
it's
4 hours or 5 hours?
See, that's
or
what I'm
something?
thinking.
Like,
Sorry, continuing what you said about they're gonna take money for. I saw a thing today where it had like one of those signs you see outside a store that says like "We accept," and it had like Visa, MasterCard, and like 8 different things at the bottom. It had the Dr Pepper logo, and so like, oh, thank God they accept Dr Pepper.
because you have a
Isn't the prologue thing still a rumor though at this point?
No,
No,
they
it's
said
confirmed.
Well, they said it's. The way I heard it described was just that it was supposed to take place before.
Yeah, I thought
5.
it was going
I
to
thought
be
they just
Metal Gear
meant
Solid
like
2, like a prologue, and then you go into the game.
I
That's
thought
what
it was still
thought.
going to be like a full game, though. It was just going to act as like how. I get.
Dude, what if
yeah.
Ground Zeroes is like included on a disc of another Konami game, like as
That's
like
not going to happen.
I don't know, like you buy like
You have to buy
Zone of the
Zone
Enders 3 or
Enders
something, and it comes with the Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes on it.
Where did you hear about them being on like actually separate discs? Or
No,
separate...
they haven't talked distribution yet, but they said they in the interviews where they talked about it, they implied they were 2 separate products. One Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, but Ground Zeroes being a prologue to what happens in the
So
Phantom.
that
You know,
doesn't
if
mean
it
they're
isn't-
different games. It just can mean that they're
Right.
the tanker level to Metal Gear Solid 2.
but no,
But
they
what
talk
I'm
about it being
saying-
separate products.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is like I thought when they were saying things like prologue, they just meant in a like literary sense, like story. It was still going to be like a full, it could be like a 20,
It could
30
be.
hour game. But if it is going to be just like a short little few hours to set up 5, what if they gave it to you as like a pre-order and then you can go play this now?
Never gonna happen.
That would be cool though.
I'm
That
telling you,
would be a
man,
good
Konami doesn't do so hot these days. Metal Gear is kind of what they got. Even their soccer game doesn't do as well as it used to.
And that's soccer. Everybody in the world but us loves it.
But
Everybody else in the world also doesn't call it soccer. It's funny that we're the only ones that call it different, and we also hate it.
the
It's misunderstood.
soccer actually came from the UK.
No one cares about it.
Okay. The term. Okay. No, what I'm saying is, I think this is going to be a situation like Gran Turismo Prologue, where they need the money from selling this prologue to supplement
To make 5.
Yeah, to make fun.
So what did prologue sell for? Like $40.
Yeah.
So they're gonna release Ground Zeroes as like a $40 product. Now if that's like a 9 to 10 hour experience in itself, like I have no problem paying $40 for that.
No,
It depends on it. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I mean,
course, we all
because I fucking love Metal Gear. So I mean, I'm going to buy it. But anyway, I mean, so yeah, we found out that they're the same game or they're related, whatever. I was more impressed by the Fox engine.
Okay, so you want to talk about the Fox?
To an extreme amount. So one of the things that's cool is they're now actually opening a studio here in the U.S. in Vegas or Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fox. Aren't they going to call it? They mentioned it like XOF, like the backwards or whatever. Anyway, a new studio.
Yeah.
But so they showed off their new engine, and I was extremely impressed by it. The way they're, honestly, their conference was a little boring. I felt like I was in my graphic design class at UT when I was learning about how to make a game, and they were talking about like
was a bit
fong shading and
Yeah.
like lighting and shit. And I was like, what are
Well,
they telling
remember-
us?
No, I'll tell you why they told you, because this was a GDC conference.
I realize it was
And
GDC.
GDC
conference.
is
I know.
for game
Yeah,
developers.
it is. And
Everyone
so-
in that room
game
cared what the
developers
fu-
conference. I know.
Everyone in that room cared what the fuck he was saying.
And that's why when the people went up there, they were asking, like, how did you all package the blah, 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 whatever. So anyway, I was impressed by it. I didn't realize that entire Ground Zeroes thing, everything we saw from that was all in-engine. I thought that was something pre-rendered, and they end up showing, we changed it. It's no longer raining, and now it's daylight, and here's the exact same thing. And they showed it, and, it just looks amazing. They showed some dynamic lighting, day-night cycles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for the potential that this has. I mean, I know I've never...
Didn't they say it Was what they were showing was running on a PC, but I think they said this engine can run on current gen systems too.
I don't remember that.
I
personally, I don't know.
Or I might be confusing that with. Oh, I'm confusing that with the Battlefield.
No, it
4
is a
stuff.
current gen thing.
yeah, when they didn't they say something about that when they first released the Ground Zeroes trailer that was
It was a current gen.
that they could run it on current.
I think
gen.
everything right now is going to be fucking both.
Yeah.
Really, right?
Yeah, everything in this next year is going to be a
Transitional.
transitional release. Yeah, it kind of sucked. I wish Bioshock Infinite was a transitional game.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, that looks good on my PC.
Yeah, PC is good.
Hey,
You
it looks
guys
good on
both
my
playing on
Xbox too,
PC?
but man, I'm just saying it
Are
could
you guys
look
both
great.
playing on PC?
But he's playing with a controller.
Probably should have got it on PC.
Yeah, I'm playing with the controller.
But I played the other ones on Xbox.
Anyway,
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Bioshock Infinite again.
so I mean, they just showed off a lot of their engine, and I think it has a lot of potential to do some really cool stuff.
Yeah. As a piece of tech, it's impressive. Definitely very impressive. Now let's talk about the Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
Because that was the big thing. That they revealed that, yes, that character that we saw walking through the hospital, limping through the hospital, crawling through the hospital, in that Phantom Pain original trailer is, in fact, Snake, who has been in a coma for 9 years.
Specifically,
Big boss.
Big Boss.
Big Boss, yes.
Naked Snake.
Naked Snake. And they kind of alluded once again to a lot of returning characters or familiar faces from previous Metal Gears. They kind of hinted at a Psycho Mantis-esque character. Didn't they show Vulcan again? Which is all,
Logan slash the Fury.
yeah, which is all stuff that we kind of were
We all kind of saw.
Yeah,
we
saw it
noticed
coming
it.
after the.
I mean, it was honestly like 3 days after we'd already pegged all
Yeah.
that stuff and seen
it's
it.
cool to see it kind of confirmed though, because that's that potential of all that is incredibly exciting, especially as fans of the series. I don't know. It's kind of a weird. That was kind of a weird section of the game to show off as a
Yeah.
demo, because half that demo, or more, actually all of that demo, he was crawling. He had no use of his
Yeah.
legs, so
There was like
That was a
there was
really-
no combat on
But it
his
was funny.
arm.
Not
It-
exciting demo.
But it was still a fun opportunity to show off Kojima's traditional like style of humor.
Yeah.
Because he's sitting here like crawling, and his partner's like this way, and he's like running, and he's just like I'm coming. He's just like fucking crawling through the hallway, which is awesome. But as a piece of tech and as a new Metal Gear game, I think it all looks incredibly exciting. I think the biggest news attached to this though happens to be the David Hayter stuff.
Yeah.
David Hayter being the voice of
The biggest news is that it's an open world game, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Or at least Ground Zeroes is.
Ground Zero.
I can't imagine them not making the Phantom Pain open world.
I hope so, because I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the biggest weakness with 4, in my opinion, was how fucking linear
It
and
was
funneled
very
it was.
And how it was like level based.
I mean, in all honesty, 3 was pretty linear. I mean, you did
Yeah,
backtracking,
no, you're right.
But it was
But it had
linear
like the big
tracks.
giant buildings that you were in for
That's
a while
right,
and
yeah.
stuff.
But
So yeah, David Hayter is not going to be voicing.
yeah, and so
Snake.
even more surprising is that it looks like Konami didn't even approach him and ask him if he wanted to do the voice for.
Well, it's not maybe the thing is maybe they wanted to go a different
Yeah,
direction.
and I think in a follow-up interview, Kojima had said yes, with this game they were trying to take a new direction, create a new feel for the game, and possibly do something new with the character we don't see coming yet. So that there might be an actual logical reason as to why they didn't approach David Hayter this time.
I thought it was kind of shitty about how they went about it, though. They didn't really like. In the interview I was reading with David Hayter when he was talking about it, he said like he didn't know anything about it. In December, they were just kind of like, "We won't be requiring your services any longer." Didn't tell him why. Didn't tell him any. It was this guy who has been Snake for over a decade now,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "Have a good one." Like, no explanation whatsoever. I mean.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of a bummer.
Doesn't that seem a little shitty?
Yeah, it does, and there's not much we can do about it now. So it sucks, but was that Kiefer Sutherland, by the way?
I think someone mentioned that.
Keith. I don't even know how to say
Kiefer?
it.
Doesn't
Kiefer Sutherland. That's weird. I don't know. I'm excited. Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain looks pretty cool. I can't wait to hear more about it.
I love it already.
Yeah.
All right. What else, Nick?
There's not much to say about it, but John Riccitiello, the CEO of EA, stepped down.
I love John Riccitiello.
No, you don't. So John Riccitiello stepped down, citing underperforming, not reaching their goals they set a year ago for EA. I'm sure a lot of that, the nail in the coffin might have been the whole SimCity debacle.
Or the
Who knows?
Republic. Or Medal of
Or the
Honor.
old, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that
A
didn't.
lot of straws that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, it was like
I saw
Broke a lot of camels' backs.
So,
All the camels.
I mean, the thing is, I was, hearing other people talk a little bit about John Riccatello leaving was kind of eye-opening because a lot of people said, he gets a bad rap. EA in general gets a bad rap, but he did diversify their portfolio quite a bit. He introduced Dead Space. Army of Two. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff that was.
So the thing is, that he introduced the new stuff, and as soon as he was no longer useful, they kicked him out. And they're going to bring someone new in who's fresh and hip
Yeah, and
and young, and they can pay less.
And diversified.
And what that person might end up doing? Just annualizing Battlefield and doing that every year over and over again, and not introducing new IPs.
Oh, they got the respawn thing.
The possibility of Mirror's Edge 2 is probably, officially shit. I mean, we've known.
Maybe
for
the
a
new
while.
person will be like, I loved Mirror's Edge. I want
Maybe,
a second one."
maybe.
Speaking
Probably
of
not,
new,
though.
speaking of new CEOs, Square Enix is looking for a new CEO because Yoichi Wada resigned.
Yes.
Who's been the CEO of Square Enix since they've been named Square Enix.
yeah.
It's been like 14 years, I think, like 13 or 14 years
A lot.
that he's been the CEO, and that's kind of big news because it's crazy. I don't know. I mean, is this a sign that Square Enix is really like kind of
Unraveling? Or
unraveling?
I mean, do you think it's a bad thing? Like this?
Well,
is
so I feel
definitely-
like they've been getting a lot of positive, like a lot of their positives. Oh my god, a lot of their positives have been outweighing their negatives because of like the IDOS purchase, and IDOS has been making all these like really quality.
You mean IDOS's purchase?
What have I been saying?
You said when they purchased IDOS. Or...
Yeah. Square Enix purchased IDOS, so they're the ones who've been making Deus Ex and Tomb Raider and
Hitman.
and Sleeping Dogs and stuff that's been getting very well received critically and has been selling fairly well, or we thought was selling fairly well, but now that it's come out and Square Enix is saying actually they're all fucking financial failures. They didn't meet our expectations. Now you have this IDOS stuff which is underperforming, married to their Japanese side, which is doing fucking terrible. You got people hating on 13. 14 was a huge financial bomb for them. And, are we ever going to see Versus 13? It's that kind of thing.
They've already apparently announced their intentions to announce a new Final Fantasy game at E3, which, who knows, that might be Versus 13. They might be announcing it with an actual good name or something.
15.
They might just fucking call that 15.
No, I mean, that's... There's...
They might.
I would bet any amount of money that if we ever see Versus 13 again, it's not going to be called Versus 13. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
No.
They want to distance it from the bad.
You know,
Yeah, they had already did that to Agito 13. They already did that. They renamed Agito 13 to Final Fantasy Type 0 or whatever it was
so
called.
13 is not even the title anymore. Right?
Yeah, no, they're done with 13 after this Lightning Returns thing for sure. But I don't know. That's a big deal. Like he was. I think he's the guy who took over after the whole Final Fantasy Spirits Within debacle, which almost killed SquareSoft back in the day. And a lot of people believe that's the reason they had to merge.
Yeah.
Like from what I understand, Enix was the larger stake in that merger, and wow, it's crazy to think that was what was once. I mean, this SquareSoft was like my favorite developer for a very long time.
A lot of people.
I think it's big news. What does that mean for Square Enix? I don't know, but new things.
I feel like
maybe Yasumi Matsuno is going to come back and take over Final Fantasy series. Take over the Final Fantasy series. Make 12.
That's not
All right. Well, let's.
I don't know, but yeah, that kind of ties into the last news topic we have here, which is tied to the sales numbers of Tomb Raider, which I think they quoted 3.6 or 3.4
million.
3.4 million copies, which I don't know if that's shipped or sold officially.
It doesn't matter.
Either way, they're saying that's disappointing to them.
In a month, that's disappointing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think.
Well, how much money did they put into this game?
Yeah,
It does.
But no.
So Old Republic was what, like $200 million? That's what they're saying. Maybe a little bit higher, and that's like
how much it costs.
Probably the most expensive fucking game ever. Honestly,
Yeah.
was the Old Republic in terms of just money spent. If you do the fucking math, 3.4 million copies times $60 or even like $50 is approaching that kind of budget, not like normal AAA video game budget. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So unless they spent like $200 million on this game, then this can't be a financial failure.
The thing is, that might have to do with. I mean, I don't know who at Square Enix sets the goals, like the sales goals for individual products like that. But if Ueda had anything to do with setting those sales goals, then that might have something to do with.
You mean Wada?
Wada? What did I say?
Ueda, who's
Yeah.
eco guy. But
shows what I'm thinking.
But
about.
it might not be that it didn't make the money back. It may have been their expectations were so high because they needed these games to bankroll the rest of the company because the Japanese side's been doing so poorly, and I think Dragon Quest X was a bomb too. The MMO in Japan didn't sell so well hot, but yeah, I mean I think they needed these games to make way more money, and they didn't.
It's a bummer. So who knows? It's going to be interesting to see what happens to Square Enix and Eidos. You have a penny for your thoughts, Chris? No?
Are we going to get a new Hitman game anytime soon?
No.
Please no.
I was surprised by the 3.6 number. That seems like a lot to me.
Yeah.
Hitman 2, I think, was the most successful Hitman game in terms of sales, and I don't even think it hit that many. Like, I don't even think it hit those numbers, or was at least around it. Like, it seems 3.6 seems like a lot. I know it's just definitely a hell of a lot more than Blood Money. So, I don't fucking know. I wonder if someone in chat could do the math real quick. What is $60 times 3.4 million? How much money is that in millions? But go ahead.
I was going to say that's
like-
pretty much it for the news. So we're going to do a very quick, succinct community segment because it is getting late on this Monday night, and we spent a lot of time before the show getting this new setup.
But the
going.
problem is, it's $2 million. But the problem
200 million.
they don't make the full $60 on the game.
Yeah.
Sure. But there's no way Tomb Raider costs fucking $200 million. That's insane. Like,
Yeah, but then I think you have to.
there's no way that game's budget was even over $100 million.
You have
There's
to
no
pay-
fucking way.
You have to pay the companies that print the games. You have to pay the companies.
No,
that
but that's all
market it,
figured
you have
into
to
the
pay
fucking budget. The only thing that you wouldn't normally account for is marketing, and they do spend a lot on
The thing
marketing.
is, it used to be
but-
a big deal when a game sold 1 million in like 6 months. Sometimes, I don't know. It's just shipping, selling,
It
whatever.
used to be a big deal when the game
For-
sold 1 million.
Yeah. So 3.4
This
million.
is a one
was
month
it
figure.
Ocarina of Time and Guinness for selling like 1 million. I know that was pre-ordering. I think that was like
Maybe.
Maybe someone could pull up a list of like game budgets that we do know of, so we can maybe do some comparison. But go ahead.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to look at. But I guess so. We're gonna move on to the community segment right now because we do need to wrap this up fairly soon here. So, Nolan, are you?
yeah, I'm good. We'll
He's
do this.
freaking out.
We're gonna do this.
He's fucking up the cables.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
freaking-
that's the noise that people are fucking
Yeah.
hearing on the feed.
Hold on. He's freaking out because of thunder. Don't let.
Brad's dog is scared of the thunder.
Yeah, Brad's dog's freaking out because there's thunder and he's busy with her cables. But real quick, let's go over to community real quick tonight. Our subscriber of the week is Lloyd from Chicago. Toostcast in chat.
Toostcast?
Toostcast. I think he used to be Toastcast, but I think he has a new chatter name. I'm not sure. But anyway, he is playing. He's
Toast? Oh, that is Toostcast.
Yeah, Toostcast.
Toostcast.
Oh,
Yeah, Toost.
Lloyd question mark frowny face.
Just keep going.
Anyway, slowly trudging through Sword Art Online. I don't know what that is. Infinity Moment. I don't know any of the shit he's playing. Shining Arc. Etrian Odyssey 4. I know that one. Fire Emblem and Awakening. And then tracking Fate/Etrian CCC.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't, he's playing games I've never heard of. Good on you, I guess. I don't know.
he's
Good
way
for
too
you.
deep.
It says that there are way too many games, good and meh. Handhelds released this quarter. He's been playing a lot of handhelds, and he's backed up on those.
Someone should tell him to play some Bioshock Infinite.
Apparently, imports is what he's been playing. So, how he got into gaming? His grandfather had an NES, and the first game he remembers playing was Super Mario Brothers 3. So that would be the start. But I would have to say that when my neighbor introduced me to games like Breath of Fire, Secret of Mana, and Chrono Trigger when I was around 8, that I got my love of gaming, and especially Japanese games nowadays.
You know, I hope a subscriber one day, it's subscriber of the month, chooses Breath of Fire or, what is it, Dragon Quarter?
That's a cool game.
I've always wanted to try that game.
Moving on. Best gaming moment. I don't have one that stayed with me all this time, but a major one would be getting to level 200 in Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2 on 3 different characters, I guess. You really love the online.
Wait,
Episode 1 and 2 was the same game, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they called it? Episode 1 and 2?
Yeah.
No, I didn't play it.
His top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Idolmaster 2. Just kidding, it's Banjo-Kazooie. Number 4, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Number 3, Dark Cloud 2.
Yes!
Number 2, Skies of Arcadia Legends. And number 1, Dragon Warrior / Quest 7.
Okay.
Names.
7.
Cool.
Yeah. 7.
Not 8?
7.
7's divisive.
All right, shout out for the week. This one's going to go really quick. Rod, or Rodney, from Moscow, Pennsylvania?
What?
Is there a Moscow, Pennsylvania?
Well,
Apparently.
apparently so.
Yeah.
He's like, oops, I meant Russia.
Arukusaki in chat. Shameful secret. Has got to be either snapping and then shattering the remains of my Raises Hell disc in an uncontrollable nerve rage, or screaming like a frightened little girl at the infamous bathtub scene in Eternal Darkness. That got me.
It got everyone.
When I was 13 and I played that game and that scene happened, I returned that game to Funko Land.
Really?
Yes.
No, that
Wow, what a...
well, when you really think about it, though, it's such a
Odd
cheesy
response.
scare,
It
but
is.
man, that gets everyone.
As a 6'5", 260-pound, 27-year-old man with chest hair and a pretty intimidating neckbeard who also happens to work the graveyard shift security alone in a youth mental assessment and rehabilitation center, it is quite humbling how much that split-second scene caught me off guard.
Wow.
Greatest gaming
What a
achievement.
colorful description.
Probably an Oak Age Shadow King? Oak Age Shadow King. In its entirety while playing Oak Age's Shadow King in its entirety while being completely baked out of my mind.
That's Okage. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I
not
guess that makes sense. Okage.
Japanese.
Being completely
I was
baked out of his
reading
mind.
it as American, not Japanese. Every night I got home from boys' choir in high school, and I would heat up some Totino's pizza rolls, grab a Dr. Pepper, light up, and then play the game.
Wow.
Unfortunately, my job now does not permit substance use, so any time of any
Not many
type.
do.
So I'm really nostalgic for this period of my life. He misses when he used to get high.
Wow. Okay, that's very,
That's very grown up of him.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Death Row for the original Xbox. Number 4, Threads of Fate for the PlayStation. Number 3, Jade Cocoon 2
Oh, that's
for PlayStation
nice.
2.
Nice.
Number 1, Transformers for the PlayStation 2.
Odd.
I don't remember that game. And
Odd,
number
very
1, Pandemonium for the original PlayStation.
What? These are his top 5?
Wait,
That is a
just
weird
hear
ass
me out
list.
before you shit on the choice. I had an unbelievable out-of-body experience playing the game. Me and 2 of my friends took an 1/8 of mushrooms. Blah, blah, blah. Started tripping on Pandemonium.
So he might not like the game that much, but he really likes mushrooms.
Yes.
Okay.
He really likes getting high.
All right, so I'm going to give it to this guy because
Yes,
he's
me
very
too.
open with his
His past use of drug abuse.
Okay, so our
Or
other
mushroom.
chatter of the week is Air, quotations pronounced Air because it's spelled E-A-R. My parents were born in Andorra, where my name is Airseta. I don't know. It
Interesting.
isn't uncommon, but in the Western world, it can be annoying when everyone is calling you Ear. Art of Drowning in chat.
Art of Drowning.
Shameful Secret. Yes.
Sounds like a band I'd listen to.
Shameful Secret. I suppose I have a few day one purchases I'm not too proud of. For example, Drakengard, Echo Knight, Beyond, Suguru, Atonement, iToy, Resident Evil, Gaiden, Shutters, Red
what is
Ninja.
These are day one purchases for this
Yeah.
guy.
Anyway, that's the Shameful Secret. Greatest gaming achievement: getting the 8 secret stars to light up the constellations in Braid, and getting all the achievements in that game.
Nice.
That is a
That is
challenge.
tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Top 5 games of all time. Number 5, Mod Nation Racers. Number 4, Rocket Robot on Wheels. Number 3, Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. Number 2, Little Big Planet 2, and number 1, Dragon Quest V: Hand of
That's
the
two
Heavenly
Dragon
Bride.
Quests in like the past 5 minutes from different people.
So we
That's
have
another weird list.
Yeah, we have Rodney, the guy who likes to get high, or Air, the person who Makes bad game purchases and likes those games I listed.
I'm gonna give it to
Y'all two
Rodney.
are giving it to Rodney.
Yeah.
Ate the mushrooms.
Ate the mushrooms. I'm giving it to Air.
You're the deal breaker, Brad, or you're the one that's gonna make us tie.
No, the other one.
Those both of them are right there.
This one, right?
That's the first guy.
Rodney is Pandemonium.
That's such a crazy fucking list. Jade Cocoon 2? Who even knew that game existed?
Me!
No one played the first Jade Cocoon.
No! I did!
But I will say Death Row for the Xbox is a really cool game.
So who are you giving it to, Rodney?
Kind of like that mode in Anarchy Reigns.
Still me.
Just tell us, Brad.
All right, Brad.
The first guy with the crazy
Rodney.
eyes.
Rodney,
you are a chatter for the week. If you would like to be chatter for the week, please send me an email, nolanhedstrom@4playernetwork.com, with chatter for the week in the subject line. Include your name, where you're from, your chat name, your most shameful secret, your greatest gaming achievement, and your top 5 games of all time. And you will be entered in against another random chatter to see who's the best person in our opinion.
and not win anything at all. But
Exactly. All right.
your name will be mentioned on the
By the
radio.
way, it's April, guys, so we have a new subscriber of the month. Our subscriber of the month is Golden Llama.
Congratulations!
Yay, Golden Llama. We will be playing their game of choice all month, which is yet to be determined.
We're still waiting for a final
Oh,
decision.
yeah, we're for final.
We'll be recording last month's Subscriber of the Month podcast, which was for Bioshock with Ranger XT.
Well,
Well, we don't know if he'd be in the podcast yet, but we'll be recording that
we're
podcast.
already talking about Bioshock.
Well, we've been talking about... Let's shit on Bioshock 1 for an hour. Can we do that? Can we make that a goal?
I like Bioshock 1.
Okay, I'm going to do one viewer question this week.
Brad's like, that's actually a perfect game.
One viewer question. I think it's, I guess I could say topical, I don't know. But just because, why not? From Tapalo, of course. What changes, if any, do you see regarding achievements and trophies in the next generation?
None.
Will people stop caring about them? Will there be actual rewards for hitting certain achievement milestones? Will publishers of bad games market how easy it is to get achievements in their games and to attract a larger audience?
Two things. I think people stopped caring a long time ago.
Mhm.
Other thing is...
Do you really? Because I still see a lot of people going for like achievements and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Not as much, though, for sure.
I mean, achievements also now are more difficult than they used to
I think
be.
it's less prevalent because David's not here anymore, and you have to hear about that every 5 minutes with David.
That is true.
I don't know. I think if they're smart, if they're gonna keep it, if they're smart about it, I think they'll do something. They'll give you some. I mean, they don't have to give you like crazy incentives, but like being able to get something, like unlock new costumes.
So
or
the
something
thing
They
is,
need one. They do that actually.
with
Yeah.
achievements.
they do.
But they're not. No.
But they're different than
They
achievements.
do,
They're different than achievements.
they do like you can unlock. Sometimes
For
you can
your
unlock
avatar.
avatar items with achievements. Sometimes they'll just give you items without giving you an achievement too.
So I mean, I think Xbox for some reason
That correlation should be more clear and should be more prominent.
I agree. Stuck in people's minds because for some reason that magical number. You know, with the PlayStation you got trophies and that's kind of weird. There's a number associated with it. I think the Xbox was really simple. It was just you literally got a score for doing this, and so that score kept going up. But then they actually started giving you Microsoft points
See, that's what they need to do.
for your
Very little
Xbox
points.
score. And so like I had their highest tier, and I think I got like 200 points, which isn't that much.
I think
but
it was
mean,
like 80 points or something.
no, it was more than
They should take your overall gamer score, put a tier on it, give you like small rewards that you can use throughout Xbox Live or whatever. You know, that just kind of feeds back into it, makes it kind of fun, doesn't make it pointless.
I just hope they reset the number when the next.
Oh,
They-
ah.
no, people would go insane.
Good.
Good.
You know, I feel like the only way people are going to start caring about achievements again is if they reset that number.
Because then they have the chance to be number one.
Exactly.
And if they're gonna start giving you rewards for it, they need to reset it anyway.
Yes.
That's true.
I think the most likely change, if any, will be in the next generation. Whenever one of your friends gets an achievement, you get an annoying notification
Oh,
saying,
God.
"Hey,
They
Nolan
outranking
the
you."
hottie," or I'm sorry, the infamous Nolan got."
Wow, that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, it was.
Is that what I am in your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Nolan in my phone is Nolan the Hottie Headstrom.
Somehow that contact file got spread to everybody. And Nolan the hottie.
I've
had
infected
Strum in
everyone's
everything.
phone.
I think it's because a long time ago when we first started hanging out, Chris sent me a text saying, "Hey, what's Nolan's phone number?" So
And
I
you
just
forwarded the contact?
forwarded the
Forwarded
contact
the-
from my
yeah.
phone books, and now it's like spreading like a virus. That's pretty badass. All right, so thanks for the question, Tao. Tapalo. If you want to leave questions, actually, you know what? We had a forum thread going for this week since we didn't have as much time as we normally do for viewer questions.
So actually, what I've been doing, and it sucked because once I started doing it, some of those forum posts got deleted. Was I was going back and I was answering some questions just in the forum. Like if we didn't get a chance to get to it, I'd be like, "Oh, this is our opinion," or whatever. Yeah. So I welcome y'all to do that.
We had other questions for this week's blog in the forum thread. So why don't we just leave that same thread going for next week and just pull from the same thread?
I'll just copy them over.
Okay, we'll just copy them over. So there'll be a forum thread for episode 312 in the forums at 4playernetwork.com. If you want to leave us a question for us to answer on the show, leave it there. We'll try and get to it next week. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show with the 4-player minute. We're going to say something we're hyped about, our shameful secret, our sweaty palm, and our fuck you. I don't know where to start now because we're all out of order.
I'll go first.
Brad's still going to go for it because we shifted chairs. You know what I'm saying?
No one can go first if you like.
I'll go first. I'm ready.
No one's going to go. Okay, I got to get ready.
Okay. My hype is for one of the indie games I saw at PAX East is Legend of Dungeon. I got super excited when I played that game. Crispy, you might like it. It's a roguelike game similar to Splunky, but there's more elements to it. There's hats, there's items, but the thing is, literally,
I like hats.
Every element is randomized.
He does.
Did you played some Binding of Isaac, right?
Yeah.
So you'd get those potions, but you didn't know what they were because every time they were different.
Yeah.
That's in this. But the thing is, one of the coolest things is the music's randomized. And not like Splunky, where every time you play it just plays a different track.
Yeah.
The tracks are set up in a way that they can literally be remixed. So there's thousands
So it's
of
like
different
loops that they can like combine together.
But not even loops. It's literally just different beats and tones that they somehow created this in-game music generator. Yes, and algorithms that create music. So there's thousands of different songs that can play in the game. And so it's different every time. You get a different experience. But so the goal of the game, is real quick, is to get down to the 26th level and get some treasure and then get back up.
Oh, shit.
And so it's randomized. So the problem is you can encounter level 8 bosses on level 2.
I
and
think
you can
I
get
will
fucked.
be playing that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's from the developer Robot Loves Kitty, I believe is their name.
Oh, yeah.
What is it called again?
Vim.
Legend of Dungeon.
Cool.
I have an interview up on the site with them. Alex was one of the co-founders of Robot Loves Kitty. My shameful secret for the week is over the weekend I got frustrated playing Bioshock a couple of times. There were some certain encounters which frustrated me, and I was just like, you know what? I died, and I was like, fuck it. I turned off the game, and I ended up playing probably like 5 hours of Primal Carnage this weekend, maybe 6. I honestly probably could have finished Bioshock Infinite if I hadn't have. You played Primal Carnage so much this weekend.
It's funny because that is similar to mine.
Yeah, because you played Thief.
Well, no, I played. Well, are you done?
No. I've only said 2 things about it. My sweat is for Bioshock Infinite. I was so excited about the game.
Now I hate it.
No, that's the thing. I don't hate it.
Again.
I don't want to start this again, but I'm saying I'm worried about how it's going to end. Like, people have been saying the ending's the best, and I'm worried. I don't want to be that person that hates it, but I'm definitely not going to be the person that says I like it just because everyone else is. I'm going to share my opinion, and I'm just worried about what the ending's going to be. So I'll find out this week. And my fuck you. Oh, I either deleted it or I never came up with one.
We know what you want to say.
What do I want to say?
Fuck Bioshock Infinite.
No, I don't want to say fuck Bioshock Infinite.
It's a joke.
No, he wants to say
I'm writing
irrational.
I'm writing this joke to the end of the show.
I say fuck you, Activision. Walking Dead.
No, that is true.
They didn't hear that.
Okay. Well, I guess fuck you, Activision, because The Walking Dead Survival Instinct is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
it is.
All right.
Horrible.
Well, I'll go. My fuck you of the week goes to Bioshock Infinite. No, my fuck you of the week goes to Bioshock Infinite's checkpointing system.
That is bad.
that's pretty bad.
But mostly combined with my OCD because I got to a situation where like, okay, I scavenged everything. I got all the lockpicks. Okay, 5 lockpicks. All right, let's find that door with the 5 lockpicks. And I accidentally clicked on a chest, and it used up one of my lockpicks, and I was like, no! And I had to restart the checkpoint, and I went back so far.
So people were bitching, and they're like, "Oh, you had to go back 2 minutes." But there was a segment of the
a segment
game where I kind of, I don't want to say rage quit, but I got frustrated and flustered, and I was like, I'm just going to set this down for now after this big, huge battle. It's one of the ones when you're that huge hall, and there's like a patriot, and there's all this stuff, a huge epic battle, and so I quit, and it restarted me. Have you gotten to that one trolley ride where there are those two mystery creatures who were actually very intriguing to me? Have you gotten there yet? I know
No.
you
What are
have.
you talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Were you
No.
riding up that trolley and there's those mystery creatures, not creatures, people you've been encountering
Oh,
throughout the
yeah,
game?
yeah.
And they're kind of talking
Are
back
they
Yeah.
the
and
same
forth?
people that are on the boat?
That's what
Uh,
I'm thinking.
They're creatures?
Hey,
I said people. I corrected myself.
Okay.
But anyway,
Maybe
like that,
creatures?
like I got sent back probably a good half an hour.
Yeah. no, it's-
Literally half an hour of gameplay because of the poor checkpoint.
But you know what? What's frustrating about the
No.
bad checkpointing? Hold on. No, this is my fuck you. My fuck you. It's never that, oh man, I gotta do all this combat again. It's that I have to loot every single fucking box in this giant ass area again.
That was my problem.
That's the worst part about the bad
Because that's how I
checkpointing.
play the game. I open everything.
Yes, you
And
have
so-
to.
Yeah.
Because there's life that you don't need inside.
All right, Brad, that was your fuck
Okay.
you. What's your hype? What are you hyped about, Brad?
My hype is, I'm so confused now. Okay, no, I had an order. My hype, fine, I'll do hype. My hype is for, what's it called? Infamous? Injustice!
Injustice.
I believe it.
Injustice, Gods
Even though I don't
Among
know
Us.
the name, I am hyped for it. I'm not a big Mortal Kombat guy, but I played a lot of that last Mortal Kombat game because NetherRealms does a great job of putting quality single-player content in their games. So when you don't want to fight another person, which when I do, I like to take it way too seriously, so I don't want to do, especially not with a NetherRealms game. But I do want to enjoy the single-player content, and my hope is that they will have a lot of quality single-player content, just like the last Mortal Kombat game. That's why I'm hyped.
The demo's good.
I haven't played the demo.
It's out.
Okay,
It's
I'll try it. My shameful secret is I probably would have had finished Bioshock Infinite, but on Saturday or whatever, I was just like, fuck it! Let's play Fear. That's game's
I
sweet.
watch you playing that. Yeah.
And then I played a bunch of Fear. But you know what? Fear, still probably maybe the best shooter I've ever played.
Oh, I would say
just in
that,
terms of
yeah.
pure mechanics. I guess I technically like Half-Life 2 more, but you know, in terms of pure mechanics and AI, man, I love fucking Fear.
It's mechanically solid.
Solid, it's mechanically amazing. But the AI is great.
Yeah,
AI
it's
is
good
fucking great.
Yeah.
How many games do you like shoot at a dude? You're like, okay. And you back off for a second, you're like, okay, let's go finish him off. He pop out, he's fucking gone. Everybody's just gone because why would they stay there? You're shooting at them. Like, is that it for me? What
Shame.
else?
No, yeah,
No, that was my shame. Oh, my sweat is for. I guess I'm a little worried about The Last of Us. I am on media
sweaty.
blackout, but I heard some stuff on the wind that there's people unhappy about it because it's maybe too much of like a shooter or something. Apparently, some footage got out. I don't know what it's all about, but I'm hoping that it's not just Uncharted with zombies. In terms of like,
I don't think from what I've played, it doesn't seem like it is. But I've played one small section of it.
but it comes out in June. I want it to be amazing because I love Uncharted. So yeah, I'm worried, but
Alright.
hopeful.
All right, my hype is for a game called Contrast, which I played at PAX. Looks really fucking awesome. We talked about it on the Day 3 podcast. I don't know if I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it right now, but it is that very like 1920s, 1930s noir type 20s setting puzzle game with shadows, light and shadow and stuff. It's really
It's
cool.
a 2D, 3D platformer.
Yeah, which is weird.
Whoa.
But listen, go watch we have an interview with him up on the site. Go check that out on our
you
YouTube
seen
page. And yeah, watch some of the videos of it, and you can listen to the Day 3 podcast from PAX East where we talk at length about it. It looks really cool. Comes out in the next month or two, so I'm pretty stoked to play that. My shame is that Fire Emblem, which I'm loving, I'm probably going to start over because I didn't realize that I had selected the option to have permadeath for my characters, and it took me like 3 battles before I realized it.
These guys aren't coming back.
Yeah, I'm.
Where's that cool
Like,
lady
oh,
with the horse?
They're just taking a break.
I didn't know
Just sitting
Lissa.
this
Like,
next
I
couple
was like,
battles out.
she's a story character. This is like a major story character, and she's gone. She's still in cutscenes, but she's not in my battles. What the fuck?
Nick.
I'm getting burnt out.
Wait,
by it.
really?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
she's
that's
still in cutscenes,
that's
but
weird.
she is not in the battlefield.
I don't like that.
That's funny.
the older Fire Emblem games didn't do that.
I guess my real shame is that I bought Luigi's Mansion to Dark Moon today, and knowing that I have to start all over on Fire Emblem, I'm probably going to go straight to Luigi's Mansion and play that all the way through before I even think about restarting Fire Emblem. My fuck you for the week goes to Bioshock Infinite, because like I said, riding that wave to the end of the show. I love that game, but I'm still going to say fuck you just for the hell of it. And my
Just because nobody else out there is.
Exactly. It's just so I can watch people in chat freak the fuck out. And my sweat goes to Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which I know we've talked about it before. I'm really excited about, but you know, we've talked at length about it, especially at PAX, and just the more I think about it, that it only looks like a 2-year turnaround. They've only been developing it for 2 years. I don't know how they can make a game as ambitious as they make it sound in 2 years.
The trick is they can't.
Exactly.
They've already got the engine and everything there. It's not like they have to develop from the ground up, you know? Just no.
They're actually developing from the sky down.
Shut up, Nolan.
I hate you haters.
All right,
Game's gonna be good.
Chris, why don't you take us home with your 4-player minute?
Okay.
Please.
My hype is actually for The Witcher 3, because I was just reading today, they were
When's that
talking...
come
There's a new
Next
book
year,
coming
right?
out this summer.
Yeah, I
believe
don't think they have
localized.
affirmed... I think it's like aiming for sometime next year.
Soft right now.
I don't know.
No,
but
it's like
the
14,
developers
24.
were talking about it recently. I was reading about it on Kotaku. They said that right now the way things are, there are let me think. There was roughly like 300 or more like different actual story paths you could end up setting yourself on, which lead to
I
about
feel
36 different endings. Now, granted, these differences probably aren't huge.
Probably going to
They're
be the
not
color of
very
the sky,
significant.
the color of the
But
explosions.
what they were saying is like, you know, they could count 36 distinct different like endings, and what was different about them was elements that were brought up in the ending that may have been from earlier in the game, from like the beginning, from midway
36
through, different characters
hats.
that you met. Like, you know what? 36 different hats sounds fantastic because I like hats.
Maybe he can have a hat and a mustache, or no hat and a beard.
All I'm saying is, you know, we've talked about this game a little bit. There's a lot to be excited about, and unless CD Projekt Red is just like throwing out a bunch of bullshit, this is kind of showing that they are very like they're taking this very seriously. There's a lot of ambition that they've kind of put in. You know, they're very ambitious in what they're trying to accomplish, and I hope that it is as good as they want us to believe it's going to be.
Yes.
My sweat is actually for Injustice, specifically because I like it. Okay, I like what I've played so far. I really enjoyed Mortal Kombat. If they give that kind of treatment to this game and actually like flesh out an interesting story, I think it's gonna be probably one of the best fighting games I've ever played.
I enjoy what I played at PAX last year.
Exactly, and I mean, they're even now like there's a rumor leaked now that there's even more characters that they haven't announced, like Killer Frost and Ares. Apparently, are rumored to be
My
in the game.
favorites.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Brad beat me with one
but
hand.
that's a good thing for especially for comic book fans. The fact that they're not just skimming off the top, that they're not saying, "Oh, we're gonna put Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern in there because they all have movies that are out there selling." Like, no, like actually pull out interesting characters from deeper in the DC mythology. You know,
always pull out.
always pull out.
Oh, that's good. They had
Hell no! What is wrong with you people?
like putting Psylocke in.
What are you, rich?
Because you want to.
Yeah.
You're sick.
I know.
Anyway.
I'm so sorry. Lady.
The only thing that I'm worried about is two things. A, that it's going to fall short of what I'm kind of building it up in my head to be. And B, the fact that it is still a fighting game. And there have been fighting games before that I've really enjoyed, but they don't have the same kind of staying power
No, they
for
don't.
me that a lot of games
But I will
do.
say, Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm's Mortal Kombat reboot was awesome.
That was really good. Hopefully,
Easily
maybe this will...
My favorite fighting game ever made.
Yeah.
Personally, that's just me.
Chris, you know what another great fighting game that's coming out is? Dive Kick.
Yes, Dive Kick.
Okay.
You didn't watch Dive Kick?
No, dude, I've been
Go
out
wa-
of touch all
Go
week.
watch the footage of me and Nolan playing Dive Kick.
Okay. I'll write it down.
It's a very simple game. It only has 2 controls:
Dive and kick.
dive and kick. Well, jump and kick.
That
But
aggravates
yeah.
me. The 2 controls are jump and dive kick.
Jump.
but the controller says dive and kick.
Anyway, that about wraps up the show.
I have a final
Wait,
thought.
wait.
Shame.
It's not
I have two. I have two more.
Oh.
Okay.
Hustle!
My shame is that I am not farther along in Luigi's Mansion because I really am in love with this game.
Unlike Bioshock.
More so than Bioshock.
Oh God, rocking a hard
Which leads you
place.
to your fuck you of the week.
Which leads me to my fuck you of the week. I'm gonna give it to Konami. I'm a little irked by the whole David Hayter thing. I like Snake's voice. You're right. It's always been kind of cheesy. He's like it's not Oscar level acting by any means. He's got that like kind of forced gravelly like Metal Gear, Otacon. Like it's Metal Gear. Like it's cheesy, but that's what I think of when I think of Snake. Like, that's Snake to me. It, like, having another guy play him when they could have just as easily gotten David Hayter. Obviously, he wanted to do it.
Well, no, that it's not even just that.
Could it be an
Like,
April Fool's joke?
like he got completely out of like voice acting or whatever, and he became like a
Screenwriter.
like a Hollywood screenwriter.
He's a screenwriter.
A successful one,
Mm-hmm.
and like he agreed to keep doing Solid Snake's voice because it meant so much to people.
Yeah.
And that's why he kept doing that. And
it's
now they're
not
just
even,
dumping him.
It's not even exactly.
Like, he
It's
stuck
not even
around
so
because people
much
wanted him.
that he's not going to be doing it anymore. If he was like moving on, or if Konami had some sort of explanation for all of this, that'd be one thing. But for them just to be like, nah, like hit the bricks, like, and have no explanation, have no like thank you or anything like that. It just
Yeah, I can see. It's kind of
it irks me.
Maybe they'll explain it one day and it will all make sense, but as of right now, we have nothing to go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wraps up the show. Thanks everybody for listening. I apologize for the late recording tonight. We did spend a bit of extra time getting this new setup. So like we said, coming weeks we're going to be kind of experimenting with new setups and adding new things to the room. So please give us your feedback on the audio quality, the video quality. We'd really appreciate it. It's going to be kind of an ongoing process until we get it just right. And once again, thanks to everyone who came out for PAX. I really had a blast. It was great meeting everybody. And, of course, check out the site. It's 4playernetwork.com. You can find us on iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And, oh yeah, we put the donations thing back on the site, and I meant to grab the names of the people who donated already, but I didn't. So it's there, and we had some donations. Thank you very much.
We greatly appreciate it.
Greatly
Next
appreciate
week
it.
we can read them all.
Yeah, I'll read them off next. I meant to get it before the show, and I forgot to, but I'll read everyone's name off on the show next week. But
It's a long ass thunder.
yeah,
It's been
The
thundering
thunder
for
is-
like 20 seconds now.
the thunder is currently shaking the house. You may.
It's still going.
All right.
And getting louder.
All right. So my
It's a T-Rex. It's coming.
my final thought is about the Peter Molyneux Twitter account. Everyone know this?
The fake.
Yeah.
It was a parody of Peter Molyneux making fun of all like the crazy video games ideas he has, and then
You wouldn't be that close to
one day people took a step back and said, "Wait, these game ideas are making fun of Peter Molyneux, but these are actually kind of interesting." And they did a game jam where all these indie devs or just aspiring developers got together and made some of these games, and apparently it was pretty cool. So maybe take a step back when you're making fun of Brad going, "Yeah, Bioshock should be a Metroidvania," and go, "Wait a minute, that could be pretty damn cool."
Yeah,
Just saying.
Good finishing thought.
Just saying.
So we'll reconvene same time next week, next Tuesday,
Hopefully earlier next week.
earlier next week, starting at usual
Parody
time.
Brad
7:30.
Game Jam,
We will
2014.
we will reconvene next week to shit all over Bioshock and its ending.
Stop
Be here.
saying that.
Be here next week for all the shenanigans and the fun. We're looking forward to it. So we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.